And we're live and in colour. Welcome everybody. I don't know who's here because I don't have my thing up, but Dodie, what's up? Mr. Dodie Hearts, welcome. Mr. Picker, are we all doable on the thing tonight? Speak again. No, you're not. What the hell is going on? One moment, ladies and germs. Cheers. Let's try that again. Spickles, people. Spickles, here we go.
I was muted.
Just going to bring my microphone down just a little bit and make sure these are all auditable. Dodie Hearts that we got there. We got Trashman with a Twitch Prime sub. We got Nutty Tart with a Tier 1 sub for 18 months on a 6-month streak. Trashy on an 11-month streak. We'll get some nat 20s in the chat for the subs. Look at all them nat 20s.
Did we cover Yoshi? Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I'll be back.
That screeching parrot's going to follow you guys on your travels again. Might have to give him a name.
Make him the ranger's pet.
Yeah, could be.
Call him Ranger.
Ranger the Ginge. But welcome to everybody to tonight's show. We're just waiting for Picker to get back dealing with the birdie.
Just like this.
We will. Did I not? Fuck, what did I do here? Fuck me. No, don't. Here we go. I found it. It's all good. Grim, what's up? Welcome to chat. So chat, we are getting closer to organising our Curse of Strahd campaign. Keep an eye on the Discord and on the Twitter. We are getting very close to getting that sorted. We have our characters created. We're going to do a bit of a brainstorm with the cast and myself this coming Wednesday night, which will not be on stream. This is something we're going to do to organise some bits and pieces, get some details sorted, and then we will be next Wednesday night will be session 0. Kia, what's up? Thank you for the host, appreciate it. So not this coming Wednesday, but next Wednesday night for those in New Zealand, 7:30 PM New Zealand Standard Time. For those in the US, obviously it will be late Tuesday evening. Yanti with a sub. Resub for 10 months, thank you very much.
Looks like it's picking your nose.
It does, that's the whole idea I put it there. So. But yeah, so next, not this coming Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, which I believe will be, let's just check our dates here, the 19th of August, for those of us in the OC. So it'll be late on the 18th of August, or early the 19th of August for everyone else. Will be our session 0 for the Curse of Strahd campaign, which will be lots and lots of fun. If you enjoy horror and vampires, definitely come and check out the Curse of Strahd for sure. And we got horror and vampires in this campaign too, but there's some more over there. So why not check out both? But without any more due delay, or whatever the hell the people call it these days, we should switch over to our evening DM, Mr. Floating Skullface, and get into tonight's show. Why hello, players. Good evening.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Right. As you gather yourselves after climbing out of the tomb back to the world, Fiala transforms into a birdie type creature and takes off in flight, trying to figure out exactly where you are in the world, and eventually finding out that your cart is probably about a day's travel away from your current position. So you've travelled quite some distance during your time in the tomb. And after a bit of discussion, it was you heading towards your starting destination. After time, Het and Fiala both get a strange feeling that something's different, something's not right. There's something about where you are that's it just doesn't feel kosher. You continue on, and sometime into the evening decide to make camp. Het and Alessandros take first watch. During the night, Het hears some movement within the trees, and sending Collect out to investigate, discovers a figure moving towards the camp. Collect takes an arrow and is brought to the ground, and lo and behold, an old friend emerges from the darkness. Bash, the orcish friend and companion of Azalan. He discusses with you guys, and to your surprise, lets you know you've been gone for nigh on 4 months. You, in shock, sort of, it's like, wow, okay. He informs you that Holland no longer exists, has been razed to the ground, and also gives you a message from Coram asking you to return to the capital city as soon as you're able. Asking Bash to take care of your guys' cart, you decide to use the teleportation scroll that you've been given to return to Voland, and with that, Bash agrees, and Ali giving him one of the earrings, or pair of the earrings, that he may use them in future when in aiding you guys potentially in the attack on Cass at some point. He then retreats back into the bushes and disappears. The rest of the night goes relatively without any kind of problems. Fiala and Sadiq discuss what Fiala should do about telling Het more about herself and going on a date. But apart from that, nothing much happens. The morning comes, you all sort yourselves out. Inari goes hunting and comes back with a venison, a deer for you guys to feast upon. Het takes some raw meat for himself, as does Sadiq. You guys butcher it up and split it, decide to salt some of it, keep some of it raw, but indeed it will feed you for some time. Then Het completes his teleportation ritual, and you return to the Arcanus, where a half-elven woman that you've seen before, one of the acolytes of the Arcanus, greets you and ushers you back to the main part of the Arcanus. From here, you decide that it's probably prudent to head directly to Coram's house and find out what's going on. You reach his house, you're ushered into his office. He informs you that, again, more of what's happened in your absence. Thorfi the mage, the archmage, and Neymaris's stepfather has gone missing and has been gone for probably about 2 weeks. Alessandros is being hunted by the Fang, as they believe that she is responsible for the slaughter of the Voland chapter, and as she has not completed her contract, they assume that she has absconded and are hunting her down, potentially to possibly find out why or to kill her. We're not entirely sure. Some discussion backwards and forwards between you and Coram. He is sending out emissaries to find out Cass's movements for an impending attack on possibly his keep or his position. He's told you that it'll take him probably 2 or 3 days to organise this. Also, too, the decision had been made to try and find Evldoa, the champion of men, as she was once known. Her lair is said to be in the far north, in the mountains north of Voland, and this was the decision that you guys came to. You now have a day or so left in Voland, where you decided to do some research and find some bits and pieces. Sadiq researched and looks for a particular bow which he had heard about, and discovers that Coram is indeed in possession of such a bow, and makes a small deal to acquire this bow. Fiala heads to the jeweler and commission some jewelry for her friends, as does Het, who is to commission the tiara that he'd promised Fiona. Also getting some work done on his compass. Inari and Ellie both seek out supplies, and after a time you all return to the guild hall, where you bestow upon Inari the mark of the Black Lion. So she is now a fully fledged member of the Adventurers Guild. You come to, you're still sitting together, and Het and Fiona, after a little bit of discussion, just get up and walk out and leave you guys to it. Het and Fiona, you both head out to a lesser known inn in the city of Evldoa, which turns out to be the Dragon's Tavern, owned by a fellow Dragonborn by the name of Brandel. And you eat and chat, and after a time retire to the honeymoon suite of the inn, the best room that Brandel has available for you. And we now rejoin our heroes as the morning breaks. The sun rises across the realms and in the capital city of Evldoa, and episode 46 of our story. So, firstly, we will begin with Het and Fiona. Sun has risen. You guys both wake. What do you do? You're in this honeymoon suite of the Dragon's Tavern. It's a larger room than they're used to dealing with, even at the guild hall. It's probably twice the size of the rooms that you normally would stay in an inn. A big double pane glass balcony door leads out onto a small balcony that literally overlooks the center of the city. You're on the third story of this tavern, and you can see out over the tops of all of the smaller dwellings, and you can hear the morning sounds of the city itself. The town crier off in the distance. You can hear them talking about the fact that Thorfey's gone missing. There's another message about the arena, and that the arena champion has not returned to defend her title, so has forfeit, and the previous champion has regained her title as champion of the arena, and such sort of news. But it is a beautiful day in Evldoa, in the city, in the realms of Paradigm.
Oh, DM, can an eagle pick up a large creature? Like a dragonborn?
If you a giant eagle, yes. A standard eagle, no. I don't know that you have the ability to transform into a giant eagle, do you, at this point? I think you may do, but even then, how much do you weigh here?
That's very personal.
It is, but the DM is asking.
Oh, all right. I only said that so it gave me time to look it up. I weigh just shy of 400 pounds.
Yeah, I don't even think a giant eagle would be able to pick Het up at this point. It'd be a bit of a struggle. It'd be a strength check, at the very least, to see whether you could maintain flight with that kind of weight.
I was going to offer to give him a ride, but I won't.
As a general rule with giant owl and giant eagle, they can carry two medium-sized creatures, but they have to be around sort of like a reasonable sort of weight, so 120, 130 pounds each kind of thing. So Het weighs double the average person and then some.
Just going off American TV and wrestling, 250 pounds is a lightweight.
It's still pretty heavy though.
Yeah, just so you know, that's all.
Yeah.
All right.
But I would say you could do it, but it would take you a check. You'd have to make the checks to see how you could maintain the flight.
Yes, Het is extremely heavy.
Oh. I'll just say good morning to Het. Morning.
Oh, good morning. I guess maybe we should have a breakfast and head back to our team, do you think?
What are we going to tell them exactly?
Nothing. Unless they ask, and if they ask, then we can say, we found a nice place to stay.
All right.
Or we tell them that we didn't find a nice place to stay and we come here whenever we want.
Right. Got it.
Or we stab them all to death.
Could be an option. Yeah. Okay.
Let me know when it's time for stabbing.
All right. Eggs. Want some eggs? Eggs are raw. Meat-ish. No. Well, yeah. Breakfast.
Okie dokie.
And with that, you... It's kind of raw. Yeah, well, yeah. With that, you both head down to the main inn, back down to the bar eating area, and Brandle's there. He's doing his thing, and you guys organise yourselves some breakfast. While you guys are having breakfast, we will jump over to the rest of the Lions back at the guild house. You guys wake, do your typical morning ritual. You head back down to the main hall of the guild house. Seth is milling around, doing his daily duties, tidying up and making sure the fire's still going and all that sort of stuff. He's organising meals, his food put out. There's a few other guildies sort of hanging around, not too many. What are you guys doing at this point?
Good question.
By this
Yeah.
point in the morning, you will have noticed that Het and Fiala have not returned. That they've been gone all night. You're not sure where they've gone.
Hmm.
Do you think we should be worried?
Well, they're together and they've also got the rings of transmit, so I don't think we really need to be worried. I think they've just gone for some private time.
Private
And
time.
yeah, Sadiq, you would definitely assume that with your previous discussion with Fiala.
Private time. What private time?
Private time, yeah. It's what people that are dating do.
How? What? Het and Piali are dating? What?
How
Well,
did you miss that?
Yeah, Alessandros, how did you miss that?
Too caught up in my own shit.
yeah, just because you never said it doesn't mean other people aren't going to think it.
True.
But yeah, so yeah, they've been dating. Jesus, when they start, a while back ago now.
Yeah, you sort of.
You know that whole learning Elvish.
Yeah, that was always
Right.
suspect.
Hang on, is that classified?
It does not speak Elvish.
Well, he does, but just not very well.
Oh no. We had tried to have a conversation with him in Elvish. He had no clue.
No, he did. He just didn't do it very well.
I rest my case.
It was a case to us.
Don't argue with a DM
Yeah.
or I'll kill you.
The
I
argue
think I'm
with-
doing that myself.
yeah, I don't think we really have to worry about the two of them. They're together. They got the rings of transmit. They'll be good. So, what is actually the plan anyway? Oh, that's right. We're going to Utrees.
Yeah, you
Okay.
guys know that Het is waiting on his compass order. He would have told you that he was getting something done to his compass. I don't know if Fiona would have let you know about her order, but you know you've got another roughly a day before you can leave. So you probably can't leave until the following day. But
So, yeah,
Het's
yeah,
waiting on a
fuck you.
couple of bits and pieces.
We might as well do what our role says and actually run this place for a little bit. So, and unless people have got shit they need to go get.
Should I make
And
breakfast?
with that,
No,
as you guys are discussing,
Seth will do a good enough job. You
yeah,
don't need
as
to
you guys
do
are discussing this, a half-elven gentleman sort of approaches the table and sort of nods at you, Sadiq, and not really paying much mind to Inari, not knowing who she is, and to Alessandra sort of nods in recognition of who you guys are, and says, "Excuse me, I understand you are still headmaster or interim headmasters of the Lions. I'm relatively new. I've only just recently joined. Do you know of any contracts that are available at this time?
We only recently got back, so I'm not quite aware of any contracts. So I'd have to go look at the board. It's over there.
So you just direct them to the board, or are you going to go look yourself, or are you going to look in the office?
Direct them towards the board and walk over to the board at the same time,
Okay,
because
so-
I'm actually interested to know if there's any jobs.
Yeah, there's
and what
not
jobs
really
are.
much up there at the moment. Like, because of what's been going on, everything's been pretty scarce. There is a one notice that sort of catches your eye. It just, all it says is demons in the Dwarven district, and you think, Dwarven district? We don't have a Dwarven district. We sort of lift up the sheet that's covering it, and it sort of said, it says, it's a bit of a line after that. It's all scratched out, and then it says under that, demons have been spotted in the market district of the northern portion of the city. Several dwarves have gone missing.
Hey, Ellie, did you know we had a Dwarven section?
Yeah. Dwarven district?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Hmm.
We've got a thieves guild, which is doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's no great loss.
No, no.
Oh, apparently there's a job for it, and then I point at the half elf and go, "There's one for you. You can go and investigate that if you want."
Oh, right, okay, yep, sure. By myself, or I'm not
Well,
quite
there's-
sure how it works.
Well, you can set up the, go talk to another member and see if they're willing to go along with you or do it by yourself.
Okay,
That's up to you.
sure. Right. You know with what the few jobs that you received when you were dealing with the original headmaster with Riffin, that to take this contract there has to be a agreement entered into by the headmaster and the recipient. So you know where the parchments and scrolls are kept. They're all on Riffin's desk. So you take him and the parchment that he's taken off the board. You take him into the office. You sort of copy down the basic details of this job, which is basically go investigate the northern markets for dwarves that have gone missing and potential demon activity. You sign it with the Lions of Elond, or with your own guild, with your name. It's up to you. And he signs it. And on the bottom of the notice on the board, it says 1,000 gold reward. The moment you guys sign it, you hear it, because you're probably the closest dealing with this. The drawer that was always on Riffin's right hand side, the drawer he always took the money out, you hear an audible sort of clunk in the drawer. And as you open it, there's a pouch with 1,000 gold that has just seemingly just appeared with the signing of this contract. You place your copy of the contract, which has magically appeared at the moment it's been signed as well. You place it in that drawer, you close it up, and you hand him the piece that he signed. He then sort of thanks you very much. So thank you. I'll report back as soon as possible, and heads out and starts talking to a couple of other guild members that seem to be milling around the place about potentially going to investigate this. And then two or three of them sort of head out and sort of give you a half-pie nod / salute as they leave. So by this time, I would say hitting Fiat, it's going to take you guys probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours to traverse the city back to the guild house. So whatever you guys are up to in the guild house, you're dealing with this and dealing with breakfast, telling Inari she shouldn't cook because Seth can take care of it. Is there anything else? Is there anything else you guys want to discuss in the next sort of hour or so?
Actually know how to cook Inari.
So what?
So,
Anything else you want to discuss in the next sort of hour or so before Het and Fiala return?
don't
No.
really. We did all our main. Like, there's no point making plans until the other two show up. So,
This is true. This is true.
I think I'm just gonna go with paperwork and do any research I can on potential of where
I'll assist in
All right, Ildry must be
Ildry.
Ildry's still there. And I mean, you guys have done enough research. I mean, you guys know that, and what you do is the first thing you do, being who you are, is you pull up a map of the realms. When I can find my button. Seems map reference. So you pull up the map of Paradigm, and we'll just bring it right over to here. So you remember that, obviously you know where the city, the Eldritch City, is at the bottom of the map there. You've been to the Howling Mountains, you've also been to the Bastion of Ek, you've been to Gatton, you've been to Redfield, and you know that in the north, in the Falcon Hills, which pretty much line the entire northern regions of Paradigm, north of Redfield, past the Redfield's sort of marshes, is the mountains of the Falcon Hills. The rumours have always said that the Eldritch Lair is in those mountains, and they've always said that north of Redfield. They've always pointed north of Redfield. Roll a intelligence check for me with advantage, Sig. With all the added research and information you've sort of gotten, you're studying the map. You're looking for
18.
potential landmarks and places where you think that would be probably more suited for a dragon's lair. 18?
Yeah.
So you spend like the next sort of 45 minutes to an hour just sort of mulling over the map and thinking north of Redfield, Falcon Hills, and you discover a peak, which is they've always called funnily enough, it's been called Dragon's Peak for as long as you can remember. It's always been on the map as Dragon's Peak, and people have been there, they've looked around there and never found anything, but you sort of think to yourself with that it's the only place that would be big enough to potentially hide the lair of an ancient dragon. Something that size would. The rest of the peaks are quite small and a lot lower, and it's a lot of areas up there are completely inaccessible. Even a dragon that can fly would definitely be able to get into there, but they have to have an entrance somewhere. They don't just fly in and magically bamf into their lairs, as far as you know. So you're pretty sure that that's probably the best place to look at this point. Is the mountain region known as Dragon's Peak. So with that, you continue studying over the papers and the maps, and Het and Fiala, you both return to the guild house. You enter the guild hall, you find Alessandros and Ari just sort of sitting around chatting, sort of not really doing a whole lot at this point. Sadiq, the door's open to the office. As you wander through, you notice Sadiq behind at Riffin's desk, sort of going over what looks to be paperwork and maps.
Hello, everybody.
Well rested.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You?
Yeah. Nothing bad happened here. I used to gallivanting.
Are you trying to sound out the words? Do you need help?
Hey, if you want to give me a hand to work out where Ildry's lair is.
I'm going to leave you to that.
I had a feeling that you were going to say something like that.
Het might be able to help on that one.
Yes,
There
I
you
might
go.
give you a hand as well.
Yeah, well, I've got this idea that it's in this area, and I keep on circling the Dragon's Peak. Going, people saying it's there, but at the same time, because a lot of people have been there, I'm still a little bit iffy about it. Unless it's been hidden via some form of magic, maybe?
Maybe
Which-
she has followers that you could have probably asked that live close by.
Maybe she does.
DM, how is Dragon's Peak quite high up and cold?
It is. It's the highest peak in the Falcon Hills in that region of
We have
Paradise.
lost the
Evil,
DM.
you are muted.
Oops, I was
Mute
muted.
himself.
The viewers heard, the players didn't. Yes, it's one of the highest peaks in that region of
I heard
Falcon Hills.
You're in the same room as him, so shush.
So Head puts his finger on the map and says, from what we know, Ildri is a silver white dragon, correct?
As far as you know,
We-
she's a white dragon.
White dragon. Now, Head being of a white dragon nature, would choose to play the game of playing hide in plain sight, as well as keeping a cool area which is comfortable. That area would be, I would say, agreeable.
Anything along this top half would be agreeable to you, Head. It's all snow.
That is also true. However, you know, a mountain is very majestic for that sort of beast.
I think that a dragon would probably live up there. Looks like it could be the right area.
Yeah, it could be.
Also to add to the fact that she can take human form, so she may be not there. Could be in amongst civilization, maybe.
Tis
Because
true.
how many people know her face?
Well, didn't that scrying stone say she was going there?
Possibly.
Wouldn't
Yeah,
she want to be
the
there?
vision that you guys received within the tomb, the female, which you can only assume was Ildri in human form, did say that she was going to return to her lair.
All right, then. I'm sold.
On what?
Whatever Het says.
It is not always right. It just thinks white scales, that him and her share the same sort of, maybe lineage of some description at least, that it would be a nice place for her to live.
DM,
Yes.
would I in my travels have a clue about where her...
No.
No, okay.
Anari's like you know of Ildri. Everyone knows it's part of the legend. You have never been to the Falcon Hills yourself. You've never been involved in time with the Enclave. You've never been involved with scouting parties looking for Ildri's lair. You have possibly talked to some of those that have been, but all the information that anyone seems to have anywhere at this point has always led to that region of the Falcon Hills. Sadiq's just sort of figured out that that's the highest peak, and that's probably the most likely point of the lair at this point, potentially.
Let's do it then.
The only thing we need is some cold weather gear for us. For Het doesn't need it.
No, not so much, but yes, if you would want to purchase something that would keep you warm, that would be ideal, I guess, if we're heading into that zone.
Oh, I sold that jade box, so do you need the party funds from that? I guess.
Yeah, give it to Ali, because
Yeah.
apparently that's who we trust.
You trust the thief in the party. I love it.
Maybe I should hold on to it just in case, or Allie, what do you think?
That's entirely up to you. I have no problem with that.
It would just say eggs and baskets.
All right, I will.
What about eggs and baskets? Yeah.
He wants
There's
me
a
to buy
saying
some
that-
eggs,
Ah, he wants to try the eggs.
so I'll save it so that I can get that later for him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just
That's
keep
exactly what it meant. Exactly. We're
it.
so
Yeah.
in tune.
Anyway, go ahead.
So, what are you going to do? You're going to go shopping for some winter clothing or winter garb to help better protect you in the cold north. Is that the next
Yes.
port of call?
Yeah.
Probably
Alright.
like
Het has a delivery to make, so while you do your shopping for clothes, which Het does not need, Het will do his delivery.
Fair call.
okay. Well,
So,
So
you
we go-
guys,
Taylor, I guess.
you're going to go find a tailor, or even you probably think even a general store might sell warm weather clothing, but a tailor's probably your best bet.
Would that be like leather workers as well, wouldn't they?
Probably more a tailor, I would imagine.
Where's the Taylor in
Sounds-
town?
So, I mean, you guys have been here long enough now. You'd know that there'd be probably 2 or 3 tailors in town. And most of them you've got 3 or 4 market districts in Vermont. The closest one to you guys would be, when I bring up my map, where's my map? From where you guys are, probably the Craftsman district, aptly named, which is directly north of where you guys are in the city.
Actually, just the shits and giggles. Does the guild actually have any?
So are you hit Seth up to see if he knows of anything?
Yeah.
Sort of Seth, you stop him as he's about doing his business, and he goes, I'm not sure. Give me a moment. And he sort of hobbles away. Goes upstairs, and takes him about half an hour, 45 minutes, and he finally does come back, and he seems to be laden with clothing to the point where he can barely see over the top. He trips a little bit as he's coming down the stairs, like does that whole half slide down the stairs as he comes down the stairs on his heels, and then sort of rights himself and sort of swaying it, and he comes and just dumps his whole pile of, looks like cloaks and hats and things like that on one of the big tables in front of you guys. He says, we got this stuff here.
So this is all the lost and found stuff, is it?
That's pretty funny. But no, this is the winter cloaks, and we got some hats, the fur-lined hats, and some, looks like we got some fur-lined boots and things here as well. But what are you guys? You guys going skiing or something?
Yeah, we're going skiing. Yep.
All right. Do you need
Yeah.
skis? We got some of them too.
How did-
Probably need some snowshoes, too, I imagine. Hang on a minute. And he didn't even wait for your answer. He takes off, comes back with 5 pairs of snowshoes.
how did we acquire all this gear? Is this?
The guild has a big storeroom upstairs. There's lots of stuff. I mean, I mean, there has been like contracts that send people into the far north, so we've got to make sure that people can stay warm.
We need to have a look at this store.
Hmm. All right.
Well, you are like in charge, so I mean, it's upstairs, go all the way to the end of the hallway, and it's the last door at the end of the hall if you want to go have a look.
Wow.
Probably
Well,
not right
it-
now.
Nah,
Well,
look,
it's good to
just
know.
all it'd be general stuff like backpacks.
Yeah, it's just like general adventurous stuff, really. We don't keep the rations or anything up there. That's all kept in the kitchens, and all the potions and stuff is in a special. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like if you guys need something in particular, you tell me what it is. I go to the cupboard and I open it, and it's kind of just there. I'm not entirely sure how it works, to be honest.
It's kind of like the drawer. It's just there.
Yeah, see, Sadiq knows what I'm talking about. It's just there. It's kind of cool, but kind of creepy at the same time.
So, did you get all of the right sizes for us, do you reckon?
I've got everything I could find, so there's bound to be something in there for everybody. I mean,
Okay.
I'm assuming Het probably doesn't. If you go into mountains, I'm assuming Het being a white dragonborn would be kind of. Do you need a hat, Mr. Het, or are you all good?
Het's not there.
Yeah, hit one of
Oh
them.
no, you left. True.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
bad.
no, I think all Het will need is these, and I hold up the snowshoes. Go.
Yeah, we'll do it this.
Although,
Depending on which
we
part
might
of the
need
mountains you're
bigger
going to, well, he might need 2. We might go get another set, because he's got pretty big feet.
What you saying? He might break them?
Well, he's pretty heavy, and yeah, well, he might be okay on just his feet, I guess. I don't know, but the snow's pretty soft and heavy up there. So,
Start going through the stuff, I guess, and have a look and see what we've got here.
Sounds like a plan.
Put on this baggy jacket and boots and stuff.
okay, so what you find in the pile of clothing is fur-lined cloaks with hoods. There are fur-lined caps with ear flaps that can tie up under your chin. And there is obviously the snowshoes. Now the snowshoes are all roughly about the same size. They're designed obviously to displace snow. Everyone who knows what snowshoes look like, great big tennis rackets. These ones have been made out of sort of timber, and they've had vines sort of lashed in the crisscross pattern designed to spread weight evenly over snow as you walk in deep snow.
Right, so get all this stuff and air it out for a while.
Yeah, it's pretty musty. It's been shut up because you guys are in sort of mid to late summer at this point, so it's been there for quite some time. So it's a little bit smelly. With that, we will switch over to Het, who is walking the city streets on his errand.
Het has 2 things he wants to do. He wants to just go to a general store. Just somewhere you can get just general goods, nothing out of the fancy, unusual.
Yep.
He takes out of his backpack the large jar of eyes, which now has...
I think you're down a few, aren't you?
Yes, I wrote, every time I use one, I wrote it down. Once I find it. 15 eyes left.
15 eyes left, okay.
And he puts the jar and it's liquid sloshing around on the bench, and he says to the general storekeep, I would like to sell this jar of exotic eyes.
Has it got a lid on it? I can't remember if we said it had a lid on it or
Yes,
not. Has
it
it
was
cork?
like a screw top lid
screw top
thing
or
you
a
said.
cork stopper?
Sorry.
Probably a cork
stop.
stopper, I'd imagine.
Cork stop.
He's so you're dealing with a human gentleman. He's probably in his 40s, sort of short, shaven. It's sort of not. He's got sort of long, scruffy bit on the top, but it's shaven like an undercut. Graying hair, and he sort of looks at you and sort of sniffs, and like it's just a general shop. It's not a great shop. It's just general stuff, and he sort of says, and what you want to do with those exactly?
Well, I need to sell them because they are painful for a dear friend of mine, so I would like to, offload them. How much do you think these exotic eyes are worth?
And what makes them exotic exactly?
Well,
He's picked them up and he's sort of sloshing them around, and he's looking at he's seeing just eyeballs. I mean, the eyeballs floating in a liquid. A couple of bigger ones, and the rest are all sort of medium, sort of human. There's a couple of what look like maybe, possibly kobold eyes. I mean, it's not entirely. You're not entirely sure what types of eyes they are yourself.
this is where Het excels. He's got the gift of the gab. Ready? Here it comes.
Okay, lay it on
Well,
me.
good sir. In this jar, you will see multiple eyes. Some eyes from beholders, some eyes from basilisks, some eyes from kobolds, some eyes from dwarfs, some eyes from humans. There are many eyes. This jar can tell tales of sorts. Adventure, every single one of these eyes has seen adventure, from the frozen norths to the deep, cold seas of the south. These eyes have been everywhere. Not only the eyes here that you see, if you look carefully, they're all colored, and in one eye reflects the eye of another. They say the eye is the key to the soul. Well, how many souls are in this jar, you ask? I say, count them. There's 15. You'll see it's true. You can have these eyes, all for the cheap going price of... And I'm thinking, 35 gold is a really good steal.
Roll a deception check.
Persuasion or deception?
Well, I'd say deception. I mean, you're not being truthful in any way, shape, or form.
That is fair. I'm actually pretty good at deception anyway. 24.
Holy shit.
I rolled a 19 plus 5.
He rolled pretty high too, so it was like... He's giving this real sideways look, and he says, well, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to give you 35 gold for them. But, since you spun a really good story, if you can write that story down for me, so I can use it to on-sell these, I'll give you 25 gold for them.
I tell you what, good sir, you have just made a lifelong friend, and he gets out his book and his quill, and he begins writing exactly what he said down.
Awesome.
Roughly, he embellishes a little more, and he rips out the page carefully and hands it over.
And he accepts it, and he hands you over 25 gold and takes a jar of eyes and stashes it on the counter. And he says,
gold it is.
and fine sir, is there anything else that I could help you with this day?
No, not unless you are good at carving and cutting bone.
No, but if you go 3 or 4 stalls down, there's a dwarven chap by the name of I forget his name. It's on the tip of my tongue. Hamel. Hamel the bone carver. He will definitely be able to obviously carve bone for you, and he's very good. Some fine works.
Sweet. And it will be gone. Good fellow, thank you for your kind words, your helpful opinion, and your gold.
And he still gives you a sideways look. I mean, you get the impression he knows you're full of shit, but he's just as kind of dubious himself, and and you can sort of see him you can see him sort of mulling over in his head. He's got that look that this is crap, but with that piece of paper and this jar of eyes, I reckon I can make 50 gold out of this. He looks like he's better at on-sell it. And looking around the store, you can sort of tell that most of the stuff around here is absolute garbage, but he seems to be selling it relatively well. That
is perfect. Head straight to the bone cover.
And when you get there, you again, it's a simple shop. There's a display case on, it's like a U-shaped counter. As you walk in, you can see a couple of display cases on the left and right hand side as you walk in, and which shows some some pendants, looks like carved out of different types of bone. There's some bone handled knives and daggers of sorts, and all sorts of different things. You can hear from behind a sort of burlap curtain, which looks like it's double door width. You can hear a grinding wheel spinning, and you can hear that, like the sound of almost like bone on stone or some kind of sanding going on in the background. So that whole and just behind the curtain, little bell sort of dingles as you open the door and push your way through. And that noise stops and comes through. You see the curtain move, but you don't see anyone. And then you hear and this head and shoulders pop up over the counter, and sort of looks like he steps up. And this dwarf is probably the shortest dwarf you've ever seen in your life. He is super short. He's probably hard to tell what age he is, but he's got jet black hair, tied back in a tight braided ponytail, which looks like it probably runs about halfway down his back. One single big braid on his beard, which comes down to his belly. And he sort of props himself up, turns around, and all right, good morning. What are you after?
Good morning, kind sir. I am Hit, and I am after a simple task today.
Right you are.
Hit grabs the skull that he purchased out of his backpack, the small human skull.
The human skull, yes.
And he says, I would like the head of this skull cut open. And he gets out, he's drawn in his book the measurements of the compass. And he says that I would like it inset so I can put my compass inside the skull. And I want to be able to flip the head open on a hinge, read my compass, and then close it up again. So basically the skull will become my compass case.
He looks at you and just raises an eyebrow.
And good sir, if you can finish that by tomorrow, because I have some other things to pick up, I shall grace your palm with a few more gold coins than what it is worth to you.
This here skull.
Yes.
How did you come by it?
That's right.
By any chance?
I came and bought it.
Excuse me?
You said, how did I come and buy it? I said, yes, I came and bought it.
Asshole.
Oh, is that not what you said?
Alright, okay. Let me, just one moment. And he sort of goes out the back and he comes back with a little measuring stick. It looks like it's probably not unlike a 30cm ruler. It's just a little measuring stick. He sort of measures the side and the front and the top, and he goes, I think I could do that for you in a few hours.
Excellent.
You come back this afternoon, and it will run I don't know, 100 gold. Nice fine brass hinges, and do you want anything inset into the eyes to make it stand out, or just open? Whereabouts did you want it to open? On the top, at the nose.
From the rear, as if it was opening like a chest.
So all right,
facing me, the head opens. Yes, you get the point.
I get it.
I also at the same time, Head gets out he brought an ash-colored dye or paint.
He did, yes.
The previous day. I also would like it dyed this ashen-colored dye or painted. If you can do that at the same time.
Oh, of course. Would you like it nice and bright and shiny, or matte finish?
As long as matte finish. I don't want to stand out in dark and conspicuous places. Just a matte finish, as long as it's that ashen greyish color.
I'm sure we can accommodate.
Excellent. And you say 100 gold? I will give
100. It would be more than sufficient.
I will give you 150 for your excellent timing and your great. You are just an awesome. You are a dwarf of dwarven kind. You are the king of your type, as far as I am concerned today.
Oh, flattery will get you everywhere.
In a good mood.
Well, thank you, good sir. As I say, come back in a few hours, and I will have it done for you.
Excellent. It shall be done.
I'll get right on it.
Hands over the gold.
And you're going to hand over the gold straight away?
Yes, 150 gold right away.
He goes, oh, what? Come back in 3 hours. I'll have it done.
I'll
get on it right away.
Tomorrow, and we'll pick up everything together if that's okay.
That is fine. I'll get on it right away.
Excellent. That is it for Hit. Thank you.
No problem. And he bids you farewell, and he takes the skull and heads out the back. So with that, we will return to the rest of you guys at the back at the guild hall. You've obviously hung out your winter robes to air, being a little musty. Hit, you come back. It takes you about an hour or so. Maybe 2 hours. You head back. So you're all back at the guild hall now.
Smells like small dead animals in here. Are you guys all right?
We got winter clothing.
Yeah, technically they were large.
You've got me there.
Winter clothing, Head. Not everyone likes the cold like you.
No, that is fair.
So is there anything else you guys wish to achieve for the remainder of this day before we move through to the evening and to the next day and your travel plans?
I think everyone's done their stock up.
Yeah.
Everyone's gotten their gear. We've looked after the guild for a little bit.
Yes, we should make sure we look after the guild, considering that's what we need to do.
I've done that. I've done some paperwork and paid some bills and whatnot.
Find out the progress of guild members, like what they've done, how they're going on a quest and all that, or
Yeah, well, in your sort of milling around during the day, you come across a guild charter, which gives you a list of your current guild members. You find your guys' names on there, including Inari's, which was added when you added to the guild. There's currently about 150 guild members paradigm wide, so this is not just for Valond, it shows you the entire realm's members at this point. You notice that there are a few that have been marked as deceased, and it shows you the information how they became deceased and when and what they were, what if any kind of mission or quest they were on at the time. For example, there's one there that said that they were killed by a Garisto while on a quest to find evidence of demon activity in the lower south. Things like that. But and it shows you the active quests as well. So the very top is the most recent quest which Sadiq had sent this young guild member on, investigating the demon activity in the northern markets. It's listing 3 guild members with that particular quest. So there's quite a few.
Cool.
But ultimately, yeah, I mean, it's showing you guys as interim headmasters. It's showing Inari still as an initiate because she's only still fresh to the guild, but she is still marked as a full-fledged member, even though it does say in sort of brackets it's got initiate. Yeah, so she still has to more or less prove herself as a guild member at this point.
Okay. I was just like checking up on the one that we did send to find out about demon stuff.
Oh, that was Corum. So that one it shows that they're on that quest and that they're heading, and that it just shows that they're on it. It shows, and it'll mark it as finished or complete when they complete it, and it'll show up on that charter as well.
No, that's cool.
So nothing else you wish to achieve this day? We can move forward.
I guess so.
So we push forward through into the evening. You guys have an evening meal. You all head to your respective rooms, alone or together, whichever you choose this evening, for a certain couple that we shall remain nameless at this point. Well, we can't really remain nameless. But if you were alone or together, let me know. But you all head off to your respective rooms for the evening. You guys are going to need a decent sleep. You're heading out tomorrow to travel to the far north, to the frozen regions of the Falcon Hills. So, are you guys together or separate? Fiala.
I think he means us, Fiala.
Yes, I do.
Het would probably be separate on this night. He would head to his own room.
You are muted, lady. She broke her shit. So with that, you'll head off to your rooms. Right before you get start, you're getting fairly drowsy, but right before you drift off you're about to drift off to sleep, and a presence just washes over you. You feel
Fiala, are you there?
the warmth of what you would remember as your mother's embrace as a child, and you sort of sit bolt upright and potentially asking if it was Fiala. Then you think, no, I'm alone. and then you hear just a soft whispery voice which you recognize almost instantly, not as your mother's but the steel lady. She says to you, I worry about you. Be wary of the road of vengeance. You may not like where it takes you. And then with that, it's sort of that warmth fades. Not to the point where you're cold, but just that embrace feeling, that warmthness of the embrace just fades somewhat. And you then finally drift off to sleep after sort of probably half hour, 40 minutes just contemplating what you'd just been told.
It would, after that, his thoughts would be with his father and his mother and probably the rest of his family after thinking or feeling the Steel Lady's presence. I would guess, I don't know, it's up to you, DM, but I would guess that would cause maybe Hit to have dreams or bad nightmares or something again.
Roll a wisdom save for me.
Or usually I'm pretty good at this, so hopefully wisdom save. Oh, it's not too bad. 14.
You do have a restless sleep. You do dream throughout the night, and your dreams do consist of that, not vividly, but really sort of almost like a black and white blurred vision of the town square and the beheadings of your family. There comes some flashes, and the words of Asmodeus warning other people that aid the lines of Valon would suffer the same fate flash in and out as well. They sort of echo in your ears throughout the night. You will not get any exhaustion. You will get a night's rest, but the rest is not 100% restful. It's it would disturb you. Sort of waking throughout the night, getting back to sort of that real shallow sleep, almost to the point where you're not actually asleep.
Yes, that is fair.
A very active sleep, should we say.
Good as gold.
The rest of you sleep through without too many hassles, all except Alessandros, who at one point during the night you wake. You're not sure why, but you wake, and sitting on the opposite side of your room is a cloaked figure. Can't see their face, but the voice says to you, we will find you soon. I think it's best you complete your contract as quickly as possible. Maybe then we may not have to kill you for what you did in this catacombs below this city.
What are you assuming I did in the catacombs?
Oh, we know what you did. When we know what you haven't done.
Okay, that part I'm working on. What about the catacombs? What happened in the catacombs?
You tell me.
I had no part in that.
We believe otherwise.
What proof do you have?
And he throws a dagger on the floor at your feet. It's a dagger you recognize.
Okay.
It is one of yours, stained with blood. That is the blood of Valon City's leader. Her blood is on your hands. And with that, he's gone. Dagger's still at your feet, by the way.
I pick it up.
And on closer inspection, it's definitely one of yours. You go through your gear and you find that you swear you had it when you were in the tomb. But it's definitely yours. and it definitely has blood on it. Whether it's I can't remember her name at this point, but whether it was her blood, the leader of the Velon City chapter of the Fang, whether it's her blood or not, you can't be 100% sure, but that's what they believe.
Awesome.
You get back to sleep at some point. It takes you some time because you obviously it plays on your mind quite a bit. You get a restless sleep, but you do get a full rest. The morning comes and you guys wake. Even though you did get a full night's sleep, you're feeling a little tired and a little restless this day. Alessandra, you're the same. It'll probably play on the night's events will probably play on both your minds for probably the better part of the day, if not longer. And Het and Fiala, you both have items you wish to pick up before you leave the city. So if you guys wish to head out and do that, you can. You wake, you have breakfast, you do the normal routines, and are you going to both head out together or separately?
Het would like to do it separately.
Yeah.
Neither one of you know that the other. I mean, Fiala, you saw Het come out of the jewelers, but you didn't think much of it. But you are both going to the same place, and neither one of you knows why. Well, I don't know if you both know that you're going to that place or not.
Can I get up early? Is that possible?
You can,
Since I'm
if you want to.
and
Yeah, if
I
you
don't
want to
need
get
as
up
much
early
rest.
and leave earlier, you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave earlier.
Okay.
Head there.
So you head back to Maggie's, the jeweler.
I love her.
And she's an early riser as well, luckily for you. You get there, the shop's not open, so you have to wait a few minutes, and you sort of hear things around, and you see the sign in the little window, like a little, again, it's not clear glass, it's like old mottled glass, but you sort of see the sign swip over to open, and you hit the slide bolt on the wooden door, slide open, she pulls the door open. Oh, good morning!
Hi,
Nice to
I'm
see
back.
you again.
Oh, it's
You've
so
come
good
to
see
pick up
you.
your necklaces.
Yes. Yes, I
Oh,
have.
great. Come on in.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And she greets you. She brings you into the shop. She says, "Just one moment, I'll be right with you." And she sort of scuttles around the back of the bar or the counter area there, and she comes back. She comes back with a rectangle jewelry box almost. It's very very shallow, but quite long, probably twice as long as a regular jewelry box. And she goes, "Right, I took the liberty of making this wee box as well. I hope you like it." And she
I love
opens
it.
it up. It's got the lion's head from the guild inlaid in gold filigree on the top of this wooden box. Brass hinges and like brass corners on all the corners of the box. She opens it up, and laid inside, sort of in little separate sort of loops, are the necklaces that you ordered. And they're exactly what you asked for. They're
These
absolutely
are
beautiful.
Just amazing. I'm gonna tell everyone in my travels to come to you.
Oh, you're a
This is
dear.
beautiful.
It
Ah.
was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to make them. It was. Oh, it's my best work.
It is. I love it. Thank you. I'm gonna
No, thank you.
get these to my friends right away and tell them that it
Well,
was you.
I hope they love them as much as I loved making them for you.
We'll be proud to wear them. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna.
And she sort of reaches over the counter and sort of brings you in for a
Oh.
sort of nice warm hug and gives you a big kiss on the cheek.
Oh.
Well, thank you, dearie. I hope to see you again one day.
Oh, of course you will. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna exit. Head back to the guild.
No problem. And with that, by the time you get back to the guild, everyone else is starting to come downstairs. They're probably milling around having breakfast at this point. Het, you're awake, you're up. She probably gets back to the guild house probably before you guys probably before Het you make it down with your restless sleep. Probably a little bit later to rise, as would you be, Alessandros. But you're getting up, and Het, you are now able to head out and retrieve your orders also.
Het does so. Het goes and retrieves both items.
So you pick up your compass first.
Yes.
And yeah, the I can't remember. It was the Arcanus you took it to. What was it for the enchanting, wasn't it?
Correct.
So you're dealing with again that same elven lady. She says to you, "Well, it works exactly how you wanted it to. We did rush it through as much as we could. So we're very exhausted. We've been up all night trying to do it. But obviously, if it helps you guys with your tasks, then we hope it's worth it."
It should do. Sorry, DM. If Head can pick up the crown first, and the skull, the crown, and then go lastly to.
Last is the Arcanus. Okay,
Yeah,
we can do
would
that.
be good.
So skull
So-
first.
Yeah, so here at the Arcanus, he would have everything if that's all right.
Yeah. So you get to so skull first. You go back to Hamill's Bone Carvers, and he's open by the time you get there. He greets you. Good morning. It's all done. It's pretty good, I think. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you like it. How do you do? And he brings up like a display mat and he lays it out on the counter, and he picks up this human skull and he faces it towards you, and you look at it. It's the colour you want. It's in a matte ashen grey. But you look at it and you, from the front, because he's facing it towards you, it looks like it doesn't. Looks like he hasn't cut it. Doesn't look like there's a hinge on it or anything.
You understand this was meant to open.
Oh,
my
right,
friend
yes.
Hammer.
Hey, just wait one moment. And he turns it around, and you see just a very small brass latch. You can almost not see it. It's just a very fine brass latch. And he sort of flicks it with his thumb, and you can see the little latch opens up, and he just gently lifts it, and it folds open almost flat, so that the top of the head folds forward, and you can see the hinges have been put on the inside, so that when it closes, and you can barely see the seam. He's inlaid it in such a way that your compass, the dimensions you gave him, your compass will fit in there perfectly. And he says, if you take this, and he gives you what looks to be almost like a little pot of glue, almost. He says, if you put this in the bottom before you put your compass in, it won't fall out again. It won't. It's not permanent. I mean, a little bit of water and it'll be soluble, but this will help hold it in.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. It is awesome.
Well, you did pay 50 gold more than what it was worth, so I did a little bit extra for you.
You are amazing, Hamill. One day you will grow up to be a great, great dwarf.
He gives you a really quizzical look, and and you got a good sense of humour as well. I'm not getting any taller, I tell you. I'm the shortest of my clan, and I'm proud of it. And he sort of stands barrel-chested. You can see he's quite well built, even though he's really short.
Okay, and with that, heads off. Picks up his little crown.
You head off to Maggie's, and Maggie again greets you. Hello, welcome back. Are you
Hello,
here
Maggie.
to pick up your tiara?
I am indeed.
Well, it's all done, and if I say so myself, it's probably my best work. And she had, again, very similar hand carved display box. Opens it up, and set in sort of felt, and sort of black felt on the inside, is the crown that you wanted her to make, and the dimensions, the exact dimensions you wanted her to make it, and all the gems and that stand out, and it looks stunning. Exactly what you're after.
You've done a wonderful job, my friend, and I really appreciate the extra effort and the display case. But
What's the least that I could do?
I really have to get going.
Okay then. Have a wonderful day.
You too. And he flicks her another gold coin.
Oh, thank you. You're a nice wee dragon person, man. Thing. I'm sorry. Bye. And she sort of she sort of blushes with her stammer and sort of takes the gold and disappears out the back. And with that, you then head to the Arcanus, and the elven acolyte said what she said. She gives you the compass. Again, it works exactly how you want it to work. It's got the enchantment on it, and you fit it to the case that you had made.
And I use the glue.
And you put the glue in, and it fits in there nice and snugly. After only a few moments, the glue seems to set to a point where it's still kind of spongy. Like you've got a little bit of movement in the compass, but you sort of pull it and tug it, and you can see that it has a bit of give. So he seems like he's on the level with how that works. You close the lid on it, and it looks just like a blackened or an ashen grey human skull.
Excellent.
Now with a compass inside.
Head has one last question for the Arcanum.
Yes.
It's a mighty quick one. And
Of
he
course.
pulls out the tiara and he says, I was a little slow on this because it was getting made for me, but I would just like a minor enchantment, and if you cannot do it today, can I take a scroll or something? Basically, I just wanted to create warmth. It doesn't have to be... And DM, I'm not asking for resistance or anything like that against
Just
cold. I'm just create warmth, like so someone wouldn't need to wear a fur coat in the cold.
So enough to just aid them against colder weather, you would say.
Correct. Yeah.
So they
just to keep
wouldn't
them
suffer
from the
any.
chill. They wouldn't
Okay.
suffer any.
Wouldn't suffer
yeah.
any negatives from being in the cold. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see we should. She goes, I think I can manage that for you. I'm just learning these enchantments myself, but if you give me 20 minutes, half an hour.
It is done. What is the cost?
I'll tell you what. We'll do it for 25 gold because A, you're the lions, and B, I like dragonborns. You people are so kind and friendly.
Head, thank you very much, and he hands her the gold. He's a little, hangs his head a bit today. He's like, I appreciate what you're saying. Thank you. This is for my lady friend, just in case you were wondering.
But that's fine. Just give me, say, 20 minutes or so, and I'll be right with you. She wanders back, and she goes up the spiral staircase and disappears out of view. And yeah, about 20-25 minutes, she comes back down, and she says to you, she's sweating a little bit. Like you can see, it's taken a little bit out of her, but she's obviously learning. She's an acolyte. She's there you go. It's all done. If anyone who wears this, if your lady friend wears this, she will not suffer in the cold. She will be remained quite warm.
I appreciate everything you have done for me. And Head takes it, and he heads back to the group.
And that is done. So Het returns to you guys at the guild house. You are now pretty much early out, still probably mid-morning, 10:30. You have your winter cloaks, your snowshoes, your packs, and everything you need ready to head out to the frozen norths of Paradigm.
Guys, I got something to tell you.
Yeah? What's up, Ellie?
I had a visit last night from the Thieves Guild.
You think? You're not 100% sure.
Which the
You're pretty sure. It was a hooded, hooded figure with no face.
Hooded figure with no face. Paid me a visit last night. I'm being framed, apparently.
For?
The Thieves Guild in the crypt. They think I did it.
I was with Anari, and I were with you when that happened.
Yeah, but see, somehow my dagger ended up there, and yeah, this is it.
Did you drop your dagger, or was it there before we got there?
There was no weapons there. There was my dagger was not there when we went and investigated. So I don't know.
Should we maybe do a spell to see if that blood is?
Can we do that?
Do you have the ability to trace blood with a spell?
I don't know.
And Ariana was the guild master, the Fang master of Voland, which you have been basically been accused of killing.
What does clairvoyance do?
Clairvoyance wouldn't give you that information.
Okay, never mind then.
So I'm guessing that the Black Fang probably won't take witnesses' words that you didn't do it, that Namaris did it.
Probably not, but there's also another thing we need to work out too, is I'm still contracted for killing dragons.
Yeah.
But I have a idea for that one, so I'll keep that one to myself.
Why are you keeping it to yourself? We're family, right? Huh?
I've got an idea.
Roll a persuasion check.
For who, him or me?
For you. Were you trying to convince them to give you the information? So persuasion.
17.
Alchandris, roll a intelligence check.
So what was I doing again?
Roll intelligence check. So D20 plus
yeah.
intelligence.
Yeah, I did.
What'd you roll?
Yeah, you'll find out. Okay, so this is what's happening. I've got this dagger that kills dragons. Sorry, Het. But I'm not going to plan on. I'm not going to kill this dragon. I'm going to offer the dagger to the dragon as kindness. Yeah, I want information.
So you're gonna offer the dagger to?
I'm not going to kill the dragon. Okay.
3?
Why? What if she's decided?
I'm not going to kill. I don't think she's decided curses, and plus, I need information about my parents.
And you're gonna trust a dragon? Aren't they kind of crafty?
I don't have a choice.
They're tricksy.
And you think the dragon will help you with the Black Fang, or?
Maybe.
What do you guys think?
It's worth a shot.
So that's my thoughts.
Looks like Ellie's actually put some thought into it.
I'm very
I'm
glad
proud
you
of you,
told us. Yes, I'm glad you told us, because that way we can kind of protect you and watch your back.
Hunt dice rolls grand. I got 4.
Awesome. Well played. Well played. So with that, what are you guys' plans? How are you going to travel? You guys know from previous experience, you've travelled this road on foot. That will take you approximately 4 to 5 days to get to Gatton. From Gatton, it will take you a day to get to Riffield. And looking at the map, from Riffield to the base of the mountainous region of the Falcon Hills will probably take you another day, at least.
Is there not a teleport close?
No, there is not. Gatton is too small to have a teleportation circle.
And the horses and cart aren't back yet, are they?
No, they are not.
We may need to get some new horses.
I think we should be able to acquire those horses at the other location.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not going to really need a cart going up to Snowy Mountains, because it probably won't make it that far.
No.
I mean, you guys have acquired horses from Britain before, but you now no longer have Nomaris as part of the group, who was part of the city guard, so you're not sure whether you may be able to acquire them through him again, or you may have to actually buy them at this point.
We can try. We can always try.
It is completely up to you.
I
How you
reckon
approach it.
Well,
we should go and see Breton and ask.
Where's the closest teleport, or is there no
There will be
teleport?
no
close to it?
teleportation. You pretty much in the close. You're in the only major city or township in this area of Paradigm, being the capital.
So we got to travel by horse.
Or foot, your choice.
Well, horse would be better.
Horse would be faster. Horse will
Okay.
traveling by horse will cut your trip down by a third. So instead of 5 to 6 days, it'd be 3 to 4 days.
All right, let's go see if we can convince the city guard. Ellie, you stay here
Why?
Why?
because he knows that you're still alive and there's still that. Oh no, that Ritz
The
no longer
charges
exists.
were dropped.
That's right. Well,
And
great.
I don't look like the person I was.
No,
either.
he still look. Shim still looks like a man.
Exactly.
Jim,
Shim still looks like a man. Yeah. But Breton does know who she is, even though you do look different.
We're heading for horses.
So you head off
Horses
to
and
the city, the barracks, to gain an audience with Breton Hart, the city captain, head of the guard. You get to the gate. Oops, it crashed again. In that case, then we will take this opportunity to take a 5-minute break so Sadiq can sort out his computer, and we will all take our loo breaks and drinks breaks and all the rest of it. So chat, we'll bring Evil back. Hello, I'm back. So we'll take this opportunity to take a small break, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us again tonight. Appreciate it very, very much. Posture check. We got Raider fan just followed us an hour ago. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it very, very much. We had Miss Keo Panda drop in with a host as well. Thank you so much for that. Yes, she does sound like Mrs. Doubtfire a little bit. That was what I was going for.
I think I need coffee.
Yes, I'll have a coffee too. But we will be right back after these messages. And I'm back, chat. We'll just make sure our players are muted at this point in time while they're doing their thing, while waiting for Sadiq to come back. Hope everyone is having a good evening. Drax, good evening. Hope you're doing well, my friend. You've got a small lustrous pill and an iridescent pill from one clan, from a single clan. You're joking. Wow. Interesting. Interesting indeed. World of Warcraft for other nerds out there. Double pearls. What does it mean? But I hope everyone is doing okay. As I said, we got Curse of Strahd starting hopefully in a couple of weeks. It'll be on a Wednesday night. Starting same time as we start on Sunday night, so it'll be 7:30 PM New Zealand Standard Time. Like I said, this coming Wednesday night we'll be getting together with the players and going over some of the finer details of the campaign. And then next Wednesday night, not this coming next Wednesday, which will be the 19th of August, we will enter into session 0, which we will roll all the stats for each of the characters. We will sort hit points, and we will go through a bit of a prologue and introduction to the characters. So that probably won't run the full 3 hours, but it will definitely run. It'll be a couple of hours. So and then on the week after, the Wednesday after that, which will be the 26th, will be the official session 1. But Curse of Strahd, like I said, it's a campaign I've wanted to DM for quite some time. It's also a campaign I'd love to play in at some point, but I definitely want to DM it. So, excuse the noise. Nutty's in the kitchen making lots of noise, as usual. But hopefully we've got a new microphone setup coming in a few weeks, which will stop a lot of that. Thank you, Nutty.
Welcome.
Mr. Pig is back.
No. Go away.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Fucking work out why that keeps on happening.
Yeah, it's because it blue screen again.
Yeah. TCP IP stopped responding. System crash.
That's weird.
Well, last time it was just a driver update. I updated my network drivers and
Interesting.
no problems since. But then as of last week, the problem returned. So
Joy. Gotta love that shit. Computers, man. I muted you, Michelle. Sorry. You'll have to unmute yourself. Or I might have to unmute you. You'll have to unmute you.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Nutty. God, you're eating again. Do you never stop?
No.
Yeah, when she's
Stop
sleeping.
eating during D&D because you can't help but talk with your mouth full. Did you see that, people? Did you see that horrible gesture that she did to me?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I enforce it fully.
Don't encourage her.
She doesn't need encouragement. She'll just do it by herself.
Getting warm in here. I need to take. No, don't. I need to sing it on. It's hot.
I sorted out the aircon because I don't know what you did to it, but it was blowing freaking
I
cold.
never touched it. The only person that's been touching it is you, so I don't know
I
what
don't know what I
you've
did
done.
to it, but I sorted it out now.
What temperature is on?
22.
Turn it down. Right, I'm sweating over here.
Oh, diddums. There you go.
22 and you're sweating? Jesus.
I've turned it down, okay?
You guys know that
So-
22 over here is pretty warm.
Eh?
22 degrees Celsius,
Sure.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Dudes,
Yeah.
I
Turn it
only
back
speak.
down
I
again.
speak Fahrenheit. I have no idea what that is. It's hot.
You speak old like outdated language.
Yeah.
You speak American.
Is it
Okay.
hot or
You're in
cold?
the Dark Ages, lady.
Mid.
Bloody
It's
Imperial.
not hot,
We
it's
we
not
switched from
cold.
Imperial like 200 years ago.
It's pretty warm to me. 22 is pretty warm.
22 is warm.
22 is probably like one of your winter days over there.
No.
No.
14 is winter day.
Australia's not much different than here in a lot of respects, depending on where you're from.
Perth. No.
22 is a nice morning in Perth.
About 70 degrees
Yep.
Fahrenheit. There you go, Yanti. But anywho, we shall get back into the story. And we will rejoin our adventurers, heading off to procure some horses. So, you leave the guild house once again. Your interim guild master is saying fare thee well to the lowly initiates. And you head across the city towards the barracks. You know how to get there. You've been there several times, and you get to the outside of the barracks, almost like a western fort. It's got the wooden barricades and gates, and you've got a couple of sentries posted at the gate. And you are instantly stopped at the gate. Halt! State your business.
We would like to see Breton Hart if possible, please.
Is he expecting you?
Probably not, actually. We were hoping to procure a few horses if possible.
Just wait here. I'll be right back. And he turns. He's a human chap. He sort of turns and scuttles off through the gate. And the guard that's left the gate's a half orc, about 6'2". Looks to be more orc than human. He's got a lot larger tusks than yours, Sadiq. Pointier ears. About the same sort of sizing though. He's sort of standing there holding his post, shield and spear. Doesn't say anything to you guys. Sort of barely acknowledges you. But you get the impression he's definitely watching you. He's that type of guard. He's always watching but doesn't seem to notice anything at the same time. After about 30 minutes or so, the guard comes back and says, well, Captain Hart, we'll see you now. Leave your weapons at the door, if you
Thank
don't
you.
mind.
Oh, this
New
should be
policies, all weapons to be left at the door. You'll see the guard there. Just leave your weapons on the table, and you'll be gained entrance to see Captain Hart.
So wander on in then.
Do you give up your weapons at the door without
Well-
any hassles?
Yes, because otherwise we're not going to get in.
You give up all your weapons at the door.
fun. As said,
I can see
yes.
the shifty look in your eyes, lady. Do you give up all your weapons at the door?
Which lady?
Anari.
Don't do it.
Me?
Don't do it.
Yes, no, I do. I've
Ah.
taken
Yeah,
out
move your microphone
weapons.
away from your mouth
No,
slightly. You're
no,
breathing
yes,
on it again.
no.
I'll
Yeah.
stay outside.
I think it'd be prudent to give up all the weapons.
Nutty, move
Otherwise,
the microphone away from your mouth slightly. You're breathing on it
Too
again.
far. A little bit in. There we go.
Thank you.
A little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, a little bit up, a little bit down.
Right, so
stood
who's
on
going? Yeah, who's going in to see Breton with Anari?
I'll stay outside, keeping an eye on our equipment.
I'm
With
staying
Ellie.
up as well.
It's not outside. It's you go into like a little foyer and there's a table there and there's a
I'm-
guard
I'm-
standing there
I'm
with.
staying right where I am.
You're not going in at all.
Not going in at all.
Okay, so there is a guard stationed outside the door watching you. Are you staying out with Ali Sadiq, or are you in the
Yeah.
foyer with the equipment?
Staying out with Ellie.
Okay, so you've got a guard that's with you guys. So who's going in?
Nari and me.
And hit.
And hit. So you were asked to give up your weapons at the table. So Anari, what are you giving up at the table as you walk in?
Sorry, say that again. What
What
do I give up?
weapons do you lay on the table in front of the guard?
My crossbow.
You don't have a crossbow.
My longbow, sorry.
Let me get
I'll give you my magical crossbow, which I don't
Hang
have.
on, I've lost my thing. There it is.
Mate, I'm gonna
I
give you
would.
9 out of 6 dice.
Shut up. My longbow and my scimitar, because that's all I have.
Sure, that's all you have.
Pretty sure that's all I have, and my hammer. I've got a hammer, but that's adventuring gear. So just my longbow and my scimitar.
Remember, the DM can see what you have.
Yeah, that's what I've got. Vicious longbow, scimitar. That's it.
The guard looks at you and says, "Isn't that another longbow you have unstrung on the side of your
Oh!
pack?"
And my normal longbow. Sorry. Keep forgetting about that one because I never use it.
Oh, that old thing.
And he sort of looks at you and
Hey, wait a minute, just a sec.
you're
What-
not there.
Yeah, I understand that, but why? I thought she only had one.
Did you not
Plus-
give that bow back to...
Yeah, she gave
I
it
got-
back.
I
She gave it
got it.
back.
So why did you not
So-
remove it from your inventory? Nutty. No, you
I
didn't.
never added it to my inventory.
So then why'd you have 2 longbows?
I don't think I ever got rid of my old longbow.
Well, there you go then.
A sentimental value, for goodness sake.
Right, moving on.
No,
moving
actually, Ellie's longbow
Was a
is
plus
your
one.
old longbow.
on. Yeah.
It's
It
okay.
is, yes. So you shouldn't have a standard longbow in your pack, but we'll get past that. Just remove it later.
I've removed it. It's gone now. I only have the one. Have my one longbow.
And your
The
arrows.
other one disappears out of sight.
Do you lay your arrows down as well?
The ammunition. I guess they could be classed as
They're
a
still
weapon.
a weapon, yes. He asked for
So
that. He does
I
ask.
put those on the.
Next up, who's following in after Inari, Head or Fiona? Fiona?
Me.
He sort of looks at you and goes, weapons, please, miss.
Just give him my staff. That's it, really. I don't have anything else.
Are you sure you don't have anything else?
I'm sure. Oh, and a scimitar. Yeah. Does the
I was-
shovel count?
I was
Can
going to
beat
say
people with
that,
the
that
shovel?
you have that,
Oh, this big scimitar? Is that
yeah,
okay?
that
that's
kind of
good.
counts as a weapon, yeah.
Shovel? Should I hit people with the shovel? Do you want the shovel?
He looks at you and says, would you mind if I look in your pack? Awfully.
Oh. Well, I have herbs there. It's a herbalism kit, so
So do you open your pack for him to look into it?
yeah.
He looks at you, raises an eyebrow and says, I do believe a dagger constitutes a weapon in these realms.
You can have that too.
So, yes. I don't know why you had the dagger of venom in your...
I think I just wrote it down and put it in, and
Ah,
then
okay,
when
yeah. So
I was going to remove it.
Okay, so we'll remove that
Yes.
when you get a chance,
Yeah,
because
remove
that doesn't
that.
actually exist in your guys' game.
So
I was looking at going,
disappear out of sight like the longbow did.
yeah. And your weapons, sir?
Yes, well, you might need a bigger table. Are you? These are getting back to us, right?
You will get them back when you have finished your audience with Captain Hart, yes?
Excellent. Head pulls out the iron flask and sits it on the table. Head pulls out. Oh, I haven't deleted that from my pack, so forget the frostband scimitar. That's just my compass.
Yeah.
Head pulls out Sublime Triumph, which is on his back, which is his loot, and he puts that on the table carefully. He pulls out the alchemy jug. He puts that on the table. He pulls out. He pulls out a candle, and he puts the candle on the table. He pulls
I
out a
said
dagger. He puts,
weapons, sir.
I could kill you with this candle.
Roll a deception check.
It is totally true.
At disadvantage.
Natural fucking one.
Don't roll a disadvantage. You can't get much lower than that. A natural one, guys. He looks at you with a very quizzical sort of look and just says, right, so carry on.
He puts his mason tools on the table. He puts his water skin on the table. He places down one sheet of meat wrapping paper which he has left. He places down a dragon wormling claw which is looking pretty crap at this stage because it was just salted and that was all. He puts down.
That's enough, sir. Just.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Were
yes,
you planning on
I'm
giving
sure.
him food poisoning?
Please go through that door there, and Captain Hart will be with you momentarily.
Excellent.
You can see the look of just, oh my god, on his face.
I'd kill everyone with every single one of those items, just so you know.
Especially that
The
dragon
only reason why I'm
wormling
going,
claw.
I got 2 swords, a dagger, and a longbow on my back. So plus all the shit in my bag. So.
Make this guard earn his paycheck.
To be honest, we should probably all just sit on the table considering our abilities.
Do you say that out loud?
No, that was just a behind the scenes.
Right, so you three make it. You go through the door that you were instructed to go through, and you get to like a little, almost like a little foyer. You've been to this area before, and after about 10 or 15 minutes, another guard sort of enters in from another door and says, "Captain Hart, we'll see you now. Just come through. Make sure you keep your hands in plain sight at all times." And he sort of ushers you through, and then comes in behind you and stands behind you as you see Breton sitting at his desk, and his wolf is sitting to the left-hand side, and he got his hands clasped, and he sort of sits at you, greets you as you come in. Come in. The lions. Not all of you have come.
No, just us 3.
Well, you're not a lion. You're part of the Enclave, are you not?
No, not anymore. When I show him my seal.
Oh, okay. All right then. So, what is it I can do for you? My guards here say you're looking for more horses.
We were wondering if we could borrow about 1, 2. How many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
1, 2, 3, 5 horses.
You're struggling to count there, young lass. You got it. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You sure?
It's been a long day. Morning.
Right. So 5 horses.
Use the ring of sending. I'm just going to say, just remember, if you're going to get a horse, it needs a big bastard.
And we specifically need a big one for our dragonborn friend here.
That's what she
We
said.
are going into the mountains.
Well, I'll
um,
stop you right there. As the lions have already borrowed, as you say, 2 or 3 horses. Well, actually, 2 or 3 sets of horses. Let's say like 12 or 15 horses. As of the last manner of months, and I believe none of those horses have ever been returned.
They are
He holds
wait.
he holds his hand up, and it says, "I do not believe the city guard will be supplying the Adventurers Guild with any more horses. You will buy your horses as everyone else does.
That was the next offer.
Well, you won't be buying them from the guard. The city guard needs them for our patrols, and of course we are now dealing with the same thing you're dealing with, and we need those horses for our men. You can go to the livery and buy horses just like everyone else. We know where the dragon stables are. There is a livery there that will quite happily sell you horses."
Okay, thank you. And there are a couple of horses on their way back from...
Yes, but they were not your horses, I believe.
No, they're coming back so they can come back
No,
to you.
they were mercenary horses, from what I understand. But they're not actually my horses.
Would you like those horses?
No.
Are they
I
your
grab-
horses to give?
I grab Inari's shoulder and be like, thank you. We're going to go to livery. Come on, Inari.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm confused, but that's fine. Thank you.
It's fine.
You can see he's a little. You guys obviously get the impression he was a little upset that you guys, the Lions, have borrowed several horses and never once returned them.
As we leave
I-
the doorway,
Didn't realise that we hadn't returned any.
Head flicks him
Well, Nari doesn't know that, but
2 platinum and says, hopefully that helps out.
he gives you a look hit and says, if one of the Lions had asked me for horses, I might have been inclined.
It's quite okay.
But I'm not a fan of the Enclave, shall we say.
That is fair enough. We should probably get them from the livery anyway, because if I have to eat them, it's easier to explain.
And he gives you a wide grin and says, good luck in your travels, Het.
I hope that 2 platinum gets you at least 1 good horse. I mean, maybe even 2.
At this point, he stands up and sort of approaches you, picks up the platinum on his desk, and grabs you by the wrist, turns your hand palm upwards, and puts it back into your hand and says, appreciate the gesture, but it is not necessary.
Okie dokie. He
Mr.
takes
Hop.
it.
Go ahead.
And with that, he closes the door behind you, and the guard follows you out.
I get the impression he didn't really like me much.
I don't know why he doesn't like the Enclave.
You guys wouldn't have heard what he said to Het. You would have been out the door already.
Oh,
I just say that to Fiona in passing.
Yeah. But you head back into the foyer area. The guard is at the table with your weapons, and you are allowed to retrieve your items and put them back on your person. Takes it a little longer than the rest of you because of how much you put on the table in the first place. And the guard's sort of standing there just giving that whole rolling eyeball look as he's packing everything back into his bag. And with that, you then are outside back with Sadiq and Alessandros.
As Head picked up his candle, he would have used prestidigitation to light it up and sort of wave it in front of the guard's face and say, ooh.
And the guard would have sort of leaned forward and went. And
do
blew it
I
out.
see this?
Yes, you probably would have.
I used Druidcraft to make the flame turn into like a flaming skull over the candle, like, ooh.
The guard just rolls his eyes. And it's just like, he already knows that Het's full of shit.
One day,
Stop
Mr.
wasting my
Guard,
time, he says. Be on your
One
way.
day we will go and we will have a fight in the fight arena if there is such a thing. And I will show you a thing or 2.
I look forward to it, he says. And then he stands, because he was sitting by, and then he stands up, and he's about 4 inches taller than you. You can see he was quite big already, but he's a big boy. And you get the impression that he's not entirely human.
He's off the wheat picks too, Sonny.
He shoots you a sort of sideways look and then says, be on your way. We've got work to do. So you emerge outside with Sadiq and Alessandros. And the day is yours. You need to head to the livery, I guess.
Livery.
Do you let them know what happened?
Yes. And I don't think I like Breton Hart much. He's kind of rude.
Don't. Actually, I think every time we've come back with the horses, haven't we?
No, you haven't. I think
Oh.
once you came back, but you took the same horses out, and then you've teleported every other time. But you've ridden the horses away and teleported back.
Oh.
This is true.
I think you've done it twice.
I was with you, but-
Anari's only, I don't think Anari's ever been with the group when that's happened, but the 2 times, I remember the 2 times that Namaris went to get horses for you guys, you rode them out and teleported home.
It was urgent business.
Do quests for initiates. Gather up all the horses and bring them back.
I like
Well
that.
done, well done.
Nice.
Remember, make a note of that. Remember it from when you return to the guild house.
When you
Yes,
went
definitely.
All right, let's go to the livery.
So you head to the delivery, and you get there. And I said, by the time you dealt with Brett and that, you're getting close to lunchtime now, about 11:30, 12 o'clock, and you get there and you see there's a few people sort of running around. And you see there's a guy shoeing horses, just putting a couple of shoes on a horse, and lets go. And he looks up, wearing a leather farrier's apron, and got the hammer and the nails. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Are you looking for horses?
We need 1 large and 4 regular horses, please.
He sort of looks at the group and he says, sure, we got Clydesdale. We've got a few Clydesdale, actually. They'd be perfect for your Dragonborn friend there. And the rest, we got the same horses as the City Guard use, just like a Palomino type horse. It'd be perfect. Would you like mares, stallions, geldings, young, old? We got about 20 or 30 horses.
What do you guys want?
Maybe we should go with old ones because we've got a tendency of leaving them behind.
I'm liking Sadiq's idea.
They're gonna go slower.
Okay. Oh. What do you reckon, Head?
Hit would like a purple horse.
The stable master looks at you here and goes, You don't know horses very well, do you?
No, Hit was just seeing if you could, come up with anything we asked for.
I mean, well,
Hey, Rhea. Inari. You know who you are.
purple horses, not really my thing. We got brown ones, we got white ones, grey ones, black ones.
I don't
Black
think
and
it's
grey
really gonna
ones.
matter if we take old or young or new or middle school or 5th grade like junior high. We just need horses so we can ride them and leave them behind like we always do.
Do you have any horses?
You say that out
actually-
loud?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Do you have any horses that actually come back to you that know the way home?
We don't train horses.
Oh shit.
We
Oh, okay.
we breed them and we sell them. Would you like to buy a horse?
See, it doesn't matter because we buy it, and then if we leave it behind, it's our own money we've lost. This is a much better deal. Then I can eat it.
We need like a little squire to like sell it. That's what we
So
do.
Hit, you notice the bigger horses like the Clydesdale horses at one end of the livery. There's 3 of them. The point is a pure black one with greyish hair around his hooves and a long sort of greying tail towards one end.
He'll do.
He'll do. It is a stallion. The stablemaster as well. Fine horse. That one is. He's about 3 years old. Little skittery, but he'll do you fine. He's been broken in, so you can put a saddle on him or you can ride him bareback. It's up to you. Do you have a saddle? Or do you need to buy saddles too?
That is a good question.
Do you guys have saddles and saddlebags?
No.
No, you don't.
Probably not.
Well, I can do you a deal, he says. We do not have saddles. We have saddles for sale. We've got obviously the finer saddles in all of Voland, or you can have just a basic run-of-the-mill riding saddle. If you get the deluxe model, it'll come with saddlebags. You can store some items if you wish. But for the big horse, we're going to be looking at about 100 gold for the big horse, and 75 gold for the regular size horses. With saddles, we would say Let's see. I can probably do you a deal. Let's say... he starts counting on his fingers and sort of mumbling to himself. 600 gold pieces for horses and saddles.
All up.
That's everything. That covers everything. That's 5 horses. That's the big horse included. Saddles, reins, and we'll even throw in a bag of oats for the horses. We'll keep your horses going for 2 or 3 days.
Treasury.
Yes, do we have that in the group funds, Ellie?
We have 200 platinum.
Which
Yeah,
is
we can do it.
which equates to 2,000 gold.
Oh, good.
3 silver, 1 diamond worth 100 gold, 2 obsidian worth 10, 1 moss agate worth 10.
Ellie, pay this handsome man, would you? That would be lovely.
So each platinum's worth 100 gold.
Hold on a second. Fiala,
Hmm.
are you able to turn into a horse?
Yeah. Yes.
You're not going to ride Fiala.
That is not the question I was going to ask at all.
I can be a draft horse too.
I was actually going to say, when you are riding a horse, can you turn into a horse? That would be the funniest thing I would ever see in a long time.
I'll do it for your birthday, but not today.
Funnily
Okay, that sounds
enough, it's not Hitch's birthday.
Yeah.
Just a query, DM.
Yes.
So, how much was 1 platinum again?
Each platinum is worth 100 gold. So if you've got 200 platinum, you've got 2,000 gold worth of platinum.
Wow. Because D&D Beyond says...
I don't care what D&D Beyond says.
I'm just saying...
This is my world, not D&D Beyond's world.
It stuffs it all up, okay?
Have they got it for 10 gold per platinum?
Yes.
Oh, we'll go with that then. Because I would hate to stuff you up.
Means I have to do math, and I hate math.
I would hate to make you do math, Trashy.
You should have just left it as it was and just paid the 6 platinum and gotten it over and done with.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, well, now you screwed it up. Now it's going to cost you more.
Yeah.
That's going to cost 60 platinum.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Someone slapped
And you trust this man or this changeling with your money.
Such a
I
good
don't-
rogue he is.
I don't.
You can have all the money if you like. I don't have a problem with that.
So with
Okay.
that, you pay the stable master the 600 gold, and you get your horses. I'm not going to make you make animal handling checks. You guys have ridden horses before. You've been adventuring now for a number of months. Yes, Michelle.
I
or
would
Fiona.
like to turn Head's horse purple with Druidcraft when I get the chance.
Are you able to do that with Druidcraft?
Yeah, you can change colors and stuff. Just harmless little effects.
I'll let you do it. I think for flavour that's a good idea. So, Hit, you have a purple horse.
Out of game, he was just trying to do what Inari, aka Rhea, did to him DM in his game. Can I have a purple horse?
Well, now you can.
Out of character, you get a fucking purple horse like it.
Jeez, my players, man, you guys are feisty tonight.
Way back, Rhea, when you guys are, getting horses.
Poppy.
Poppy the
I
purple
wanted to be
horse.
purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, funny enough, what did you do? You left them up the mountainside in the
And-
snow.
exactly.
It would have been purple by the end of it.
What's gonna happen to this horse?
Anyway,
Anyway, back to the story, guys.
thank you, Fiala. That is gracious of you. I love this purple horse. Does purple horse meat taste better?
The stable master's just, he's shaking his head. He is he's had a long day and he's just not really in the mood for dealing with this kind of stuff. And it's like,
Look at it. Why do you need horse meat when I can hunt?
I have tasted your cooking.
So you didn't
Pickle.
like the deer I caught the other morning?
Oh no, the fresh deer uncooked was absolutely beautiful. I would never put that down.
Oh, she hunted it.
Didn't cook it because obviously my cooking's really bad. But
I turned to the stable hand. You wouldn't think this was the dragons of Valon, would you?
considering we're
You mean the
lions.
lions? Yeah. The dragons of Valond.
Sorry, lions.
I've heard of the lions of Valond. You're not them, are you?
Shit.
Surely not.
No, not at all.
Wait,
You're kidding me, right? Really? Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yep, and this is a normal day. This is how we do shit.
I'm so overwhelmed right now.
Today, so impressed.
Yeah.
No touching. Oh, no. I don't know
Head
you
jumps
that well.
onto his purple horse. Says, "Shall we go, Sadiq? I can see you're chomping at the bit." Excuse the pun.
And with that, you mount your steeds and you're away. You leave the city limits of Valond, taking the northwestern gate, which is where the livery is, heading towards the township of Gatton, which you know is on horseback is going to take you a couple of days. It takes you about a day to get to the base of the Howling Mountains. Which this is a road that you have all taken before. On a number of occasions, in fact. So you leave the city of Valond. About lunchtime you leave. You travel for the better part of three or four hours before you start getting to the sort of the tree line of the Howling Mountains region. You know it's going to take you at least another 4 to 5 hours to reach the base of the mountain itself. If you wish to travel somewhat into the evening to make up some time, it's up to you. You're not on any kind of time frame, but it's up to you how fast you're going to travel. Whether you're going to travel at a regular pace, sort of just trotting or galloping, it's up to you guys. What sort of pace are you looking at traveling at?
Medium, I'd say probably be best.
So, like trotting at a trot or a canter. Like you obviously don't want to push your horses, right?
Probably trot.
Yeah, since we actually own these ones, we're going to look after them for once.
So obviously it's a lot faster than walking. So you do make good time. You probably about by 8:30, 10 o'clock at night, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Sun is set. Those of you with dark vision will still be able to see with the dim light at the clear night, sort of a 2/3 moon. Those without dark vision would have to rely on some form of light source, obviously. So whether you have a light source up or not is up to you. Do you wish to carry on further into the evening, or do you want to stop and find somewhere to camp?
Probably find somewhere where to camp, because traveling at night can be dangerous.
Well, traveling during the day can be dangerous.
Yeah, but we
so,
can see, but the horses can't. So,
true. So you decide to find somewhere to camp for the evening. Who is searching for a suitable campsite? Are you all searching, or anyone in particular?
I can search.
Make a survival check for me. With advantage, because I dare say you're all going to be searching together.
It is a 23.
23. With your knowledge of the forest, and obviously with the help of Inari's knowledge of the forest, with everyone, and you know this area relatively well. You guys have travelled through here a number of times. It doesn't take you long to find a small clearing in amongst the trees, which would make a suitable campsite. There's a small creek nearby, probably about 10 or 15 meters from the area you've decided to camp from. It's just we'll give you a reasonable supply of fresh water. Takes you about an hour or so. You tie the horses up to some trees close to where you're going to camp. You get a fire going, set up your tents, and you organise to have an evening meal. So mark off rations, a day's worth of rations. Is there anything you guys wish to discuss or achieve before people heading off to bed?
Might sit by Allie, if that's all right with Allie.
That's fine. Fine.
Well, you're all sitting around a campfire. I'd imagine you'd all be pretty close together, sitting around the campfire. Like you would set the camp up in such a way which gives you a base perimeter, but the tents would be far enough away from the fire where they're not going to catch fire, but they'd still catch enough warmth from a fire throughout the night. There'd be enough room for you all to be seated around the fire while you were possibly cooking food or just for warmth in general.
I'm gonna pull out my box that I got.
You're going to pull out your box? That's a bit
My
rude.
Just whip out my box with the lion's head seal and pull out a necklace for Allie and say, I got this for you, and I'm really proud of how you're really open with us as a family. So
describe the necklace that they see, if you would,
it
please.
is gilded with gold, was it not?
It
No,
was.
that was the seal on the box, wasn't it?
The necklace itself was done in gold and platinum.
That's true. And it has the same emblem as our tattoo on it.
So you've got a gold chain with the seal of the black lion done in platinum with gold inlay.
Yeah. I didn't have time to engrave it, but I thought I'd give it to us all as a kind of a bonding thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Does it do anything special?
No, I didn't actually have time for that either. But I'm
Okay.
thinking maybe you could go and get it done with what you want, maybe.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, everybody gets their own thing.
And I put it on.
Just make a note in your notes that you're wearing a seal of the lions, the black lion.
Yeah.
Do you only give it to Alessandros, or do you hand one out to each of the group? in succession?
Yeah, if we're all sitting together, I'm just
I
gonna
mean, they would have
pass
seen you
around.
do it. Yeah, they would have seen you pull
Yeah.
out the box, and like I said, you guys notice that the box is really well made. It's got the lion's head in gold leaf laid into the center of the lid. It's a very fine, and the necklaces themselves are very, very well made and very well decorated and very cool looking.
Maybe we could give these out to like the guild members that show the extra effort or something as an award in the future. Maybe we keep this box at the guild house or something. You think?
Sounds like a plan.
Could be a good idea, yes.
Mm.
With
So,
20 gold entry fee. Yes?
so
No? Okay.
do you hand them out one by one?
Yes.
So Inari would probably sitting next to Alessandros. Fiala reaches out and hands you there's pretty much they're all identical. So she hands you
Yeah.
the same. You're muted.
I jump across Ellie and give Fiala a big hug and say thank you.
And
Aw.
I say you froze for a second.
So get this
What are you doing
jumping
in the background? You're
across.
starting to freeze.
This jumping across. Is that close enough for me to go? Whoa!
Pretty much,
She's basically laying in your lap. Took it to
more or
me.
less. Yeah, over the fire, burning herself in the process. Because there is a campfire in between all you guys, by the way. You're sitting around a campfire.
Okay, so I kind of clamber
She's so
over Ellie.
Okay,
and
that makes
give
more
her a hug.
sense. I know what you mean. I just wanted to clarify. Sadiq would probably be next in the line, and basically Sadiq would be across to your left, and Het would probably be to your immediate left.
And then I'm going to give one to Sadiq and say thank you for believing in me. And then I'm going to give one to Het and say thank you for Elvish.
Wow.
Het is stoked. He has a big grin on his face. He says, Ellie, do you remember back in the beginning when I did something like this?
Well, it wasn't as cool as this, but and Head reaches into his backpack and pulls out like a little flask, like a whiskey flask, with a lion's face on it.
Yep.
He says,
How many did I have of these in the beginning, and who had them?
You had
I've
5.
got one.
Sadiq has 1.
Yeah.
Namaris had 1. Alessandra's had 1, and Fiela
I
had 1.
did. I did.
I couldn't remember who had them.
Yeah.
Should be a silver flask.
Oops. I lost it somewhere along the way.
Or you never
I
put it
thought
in.
maybe the two.
Or you never
the
put
two
it in the
other-
first place. But
The two others that were traveling companions.
got-
maybe.
actually,
I've got that on
actually,
mine.
no. I think you might be right. I think it was done before Sadiq and Fiela joined.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
sure.
So I think
Gillian.
I think you're correct. It would have been Aslan, Gillian, Namaris, Het, and
Ellie.
Alessandros would have had 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, silver flask. You did that right at the very beginning. It was right after your trial.
So yes, and it's empty. I've never filled it. What? I mean, this necklace is so much. It's beautiful. Inari, would you like a flask? Oh, it's got my name on it. Never mind. I'll keep it for now.
That's right. You had them all engraved with names too. Yes. So, Alessandros, you would have in your pack a
I
silver
wish I
flask
thought of that.
with your name engraved and the lion's head on it as well.
This necklace is cool. We can take it. We can go. Halt! We are the lions. Freeze! Put your hands in the air. Now lay down on the ground. Put your hands behind your back. That's like our badge of righteousness.
But you didn't say Simon Says before any of that.
Who is Simon?
Exactly.
I was thinking more sentimental value, but okay, that works too.
Oh, you were saying you could give it to all the upcoming candidates, weren't you?
Yeah, sort of.
Maybe if it's sentimental, we just keep it to ourselves and tell them nothing.
Be good for discounts. Like we don't have to say anything. It's like right there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Hmm.
It liked it very much. Thank you for the kind thought, Fiela.
Cool.
It sits down and begins to shine hers even more.
Sweet.
Ollie, what are you doing after the whole Kosas thing? Where are you gonna live?
You're assuming I make it through all this.
Yeah, assuming you make it through all this, because you're a perfect rogue.
I haven't thought that far through.
Oh. Well, I mean, I don't intend to going back home to my hut, so there's a abandoned hut in the jungle if you like taking it.
I might take you up on that offer if I survive all this.
Yeah, you can have it.
All right, I'm going to turn in.
With that, Alessandros gets up and retreats to her tent. Who's taking first watch by any chance?
I'll
Yeah,
go
it will take-
first.
Apologies. Head will take second.
Okay, and the last watch.
Might as well.
So, Alessandros retreats to her tent, leaving the 4 of you at this point still awake. It is starting to get a little late now, but it's not super late. Is there anything else you wish to discuss further before Sadiq and the rest of you turn in? Well, the rest of you turn in for Sadiq to take his first watch.
Enjoy your sleep. Go to bed.
Yes, Dad.
Got to get up early in the morning.
So the rest of you retire to your respective tents, leaving Sadiq to keep the fire burning and to keep watch through the course of the evening. Nothing happens much on your watch, Sadiq. You listen to the night sky, to the sounds of the forest. At times your thoughts wander slightly to what happened with Namaris, with you destroying her body as quickly as you did. You definitely don't feel guilt, but you sometimes wonder whether it was the right decision. But then your thoughts fall to the remainder of your clan, which you potentially could have been reunited with, and then finding out obviously that those hopes and dreams have been dashed once again, potentially, for all intents and purposes, as far as you know, were at the hands of Namaris. So those thoughts of sort of her vanished pretty quickly. The thoughts then coming back quickly with the lust for taking down Cass and his ilk, the evil entities of this world. The reason you joined the Blood Hunter Order in the first place. It's all that sort of stuff. Your thoughts to your deity and the tenets of Tempest and everything that he stands for. It's playing on your mind quite a lot this evening, and you're not entirely sure why, but it seems to be with you a little bit more than usual. You then get to the end of your watch, and who was second?
Het,
I believe. So you wake Het.
Yep, tap Het on the foot. Or tickle Het.
Tickle, 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 tickle.
Ah, it is ticklish. Oh, is it my turn already?
Your turn, bro. I'm going to bed.
No, nothing to report, Sadiq, Captain Sadiq.
Nah, nothing to report.
Nothing to report. Quiet night then, eh?
Quiet night. All well on the
What are you
western
doing over
front.
there?
Is there, anything you
Holy
wish me to do while you sleep? Anything I can keep up with? Any reading you would like materials of reading you would like me to study, or anything that you've been worried about?
No. We've done as much research as we possibly can, so now we just got to travel forth.
That is cool. You look worried. I just thought I'd check in.
Well, you never know. You might not survive. You might survive.
It is a terrible
Find
way
out.
to look at it. Always look on the bright side, Sadiq.
Okay. The bright side is we don't all die after this.
I guess that's a bright side. I was more thinking we are already making waves.
Oh no, I know we're making waves.
We are succeeding because we are not dead yet.
Yes, we're pissing off all the right people.
And that is a good thing. Something to cheer about. Oh, the others are asleep. I should be a bit quiet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let them sleep. Alright, I'm going. I go to bed.
Yes.
With that hit, you start your watch. You sit around at the campfire. You stoke the campfire up a bit just to keep it going through the night. Make sure that keeps any wild animals away, and obviously keeps you warm and the rest of the group relatively warm through. I mean, it's not cold, but there is a bit of a chill in the air. We're heading in towards the latter sort of days of the summer months, so there is a little bit of a chill on the air, more so than usual. On the wind during your watch, you hear that same whispering voice that you heard the night before, just warning you of the path of vengeance. Make sure that you are doing the things that you're doing for the right reasons. It's not what you hear, it's just the feeling you get. Almost immediately after, you hear, and you don't hear it, but you hear it in your head more than in your ears, but that slight rattle of chains, and your thoughts turn almost immediately to the Rattlehead and what he's provided for you and the tools that he's given you in your quest for vengeance. But then your mind drifts back to the Steel Lady, and you seem a little conflicted at this point. You're not sure. You're not 100% sure you made the right choice, but you know that you almost know the Steel Lady couldn't have given you the same level of the same tools that the Rattlehead was giving you. So that's going to play on your mind quite frequently.
Het, during this, Het pulls out his notebook while he's having these thoughts, and he's still keeping watch, but as he walks around the camp, he's trying to draw the lady's symbol, and then he thinks of his father's shield and sword and things, and he tries to draw his father as he's wandering around. It's going to be a mess, I guess, but he's reminded of his family again.
Roll. Why don't I get you to roll for that? Wouldn't be performance. Roll a history check for me with advantage, because I mean, yeah, you're sort of drawing on the Steel Lady, you know, drawing on memories of your parents and your family.
Just an 18.
18. You sort of wander around, and you're drawing almost unconsciously. You're not really looking at the page. But after a short time, you sort of look down, and surprisingly, you started with the symbol of the Steel Lady, and then that seemed to almost meld into your family crest. So it was not on the crest or in the crest, it was sort of part of it in such a way. And then that melded again into a Dragonborn's face, which was not dissimilar to your father. I mean, it's not the whole face, it's only a portion. But it all seemed intertwined somehow. And it actually looks very cool to you. I mean, you look at it and go, oh wow. You don't remember drawing it as such. You were just sort of thinking about it and sort of almost just blindly drawing. But you've come up with this drawing that brings you some comfort.
Excellent. He closes the book up and puts it back into his pack as he does his rounds.
And for the rest of the night, you don't really get much else. Is it like, again, you got the animals of the night, the crickets, the owls, the occasional wolf howl off in the distance, which sounds almost lonely in the distance, but it was nothing aggressive.
Before Het wakes up Inari, he knows Fiala only needs a short amount of sleep as well, and he just gives Fiala a quiet tap. Fiala, are you awake?
Yeah, I am now. You
don't need to be awake for long. I had to give you something, but we are, in with a group and all that, and it wasn't fair to give it in front of everyone awake. So, and Het pulls the crown from his pack, and the tiara type crown it is, and he hands it over, and he says, this is for you to help you on the cooler nights.
Aw, that's nice. Give him a half a sleep kiss.
Just remember when we were in the dirty tomb, and you wanted the crown, and I said, I promised I would get you one. Well, this is promise fulfilled.
Does this have abjuration magic on it?
It kind of does, sort of.
I was kidding, but okay. That's good.
Anyhow, I shall let you sleep. Sorry for waking you up.
Thanks, Het.
Do you put the crown? Do you put the crown on?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on and sleep with it.
Okay. The moment you put it on your head, you just feel a natural warmth. Like it's kind of it's weird at first. It sort of takes you a little bit by surprise, but your body temperature, your whole body temperature rises to a point where you probably don't even need to sleep with a blanket. It's just you just feel like you're sleeping out under the stars on a summer's evening. It gives you that same warmth.
Aww. Feels like you're next to me, Het, and then I fall asleep.
And with that hit, that is your
wakes up Inari.
That is your watch over, Inari. You are woken up by a Dragonborn.
Okay.
It is now your
nothing
watch.
to report, Inari. Everything was fairly quiet on my watch. If you do so feel like it, I have a water skin in my pack that you can heat up over the fireplace and pour on Alessandros' wrists.
Why?
It's supposed to make them pee their pants.
Ooh. No, that
Yeah,
sounds like fun.
It's kind of funny, yeah. And Ali would be the one that would be best for. You could do it with Sadiq, but I don't think he would wake.
So really, really hot, like boiling?
No. That would be funny too, but that would actually scar him and probably hurt her more. But no, just warm enough to, you trickle it over their wrist and hands, and then for some reason, if they need to pee, they will pee their pants.
Oh, okay. All right.
Good to know. Thank you. Het will sleep now.
And with that, Het leaves you to it. Heads back to his tent. So Inari, you wake up, you again restoke the fire, keep it going throughout the course of your watch. Your thoughts through this time by yourself, just sitting here sort of contemplating the world and what's happening, and your time with the lions and respect and that they've shown you, your thoughts fall back to the tomb of all things. The pain you felt in your shoulder as your arm was almost torn from its socket, sort of your shoulder still aches from time to time, especially with this colder evening. It's still kind of achy. You then sort of reflect on the Enclave and what they stand for, and your thoughts then drift back to your family and what they stood for, and the not so much of a contract, but the mission that you were given with the Enclave, and also the message you recently received as well. You go over it again and think, okay, cool. You make sure that you've understood it 100%, that you know exactly what is required. With that, you get up, you walk around the camp, just checking the perimeter, and you spy just in the trees a figure.
Okay.
Hooded, can't see its face, standing in the trees, and the figure speaks to you.
At this point, I probably would have taken out a scimitar, just the
Yeah,
protection.
you don't feel any threat, even though you get there's a familiarity to this figure, so
Oh, okay.
you don't.
So no.
There's
I wouldn't.
there's no threat to you. Like you know this person, or you think you know this person.
Okay.
And the person speaks to you and says, "I hope all is well. Are things going according to plan?
Yes, they should be.
Do they suspect anything?
No.
Good. Did you receive my message?
I did.
You understand what is required.
I do.
She is not to be harmed. Not yet. You must gather all the information first. Stay the course, Inari, and you shall receive great reward. And with that, the figure vanishes.
Okay. I then go and put the pot of water on the fire and warm it up, and go into Het's tent and put his hand in it.
So it's warm water on Het's hand.
Yep.
Het, make a
Het's wrist.
constitution saving throw for me.
That is a 3. I'm going to use DM's inspiration that I have.
You have a
out
DM's
of the way.
inspiration? You do?
Oh, that is much better. That is 13.
13. Let me just roll a die here for a second. You wait a few seconds, Inari. Nothing happens. You think, well, he's not woken up. So look around. You sort of feel around, around the blankets, around where his crotch should be, and you don't feel any dampness or warmness. And you think, he lied. That didn't work. I wonder if it's because he's Dragonborn. Maybe it only works on humans or humanoids, more humanoid character people. You're confused at why it didn't work.
Okay, so I'll do it again, but I'll try it with Ellie this time.
I'll allow you one more shot at this. Hit also roll a perception check at disadvantage. I want to see if you wake up.
Oh yeah, that's pretty rubbish. 5 + 2, 7.
Yeah, you stir a little. You're dreaming about a warm babbling brook on a warm summer's day, and you just must be running your hand. It's a nice dream, but you don't wake.
Okay.
Inari, this time you heat some more water to sort of tepper temperatures. It's nice and warm, and you creep into Alessandra's tent and attempt the same thing, pouring it on her wrist and hand. Alessandros, make a Constitution saving throw for me, please. Alessandros, you slowly open your eyes as a warm sensation fills your nether regions as you wet yourself. But as you wake and open your eyes, you see Inari sniggering, leaning over you with a water skin as she's pouring it onto your left wrist and hand.
I smile sweetly, kiss him on the nose, and run out of the tent.
I'll give you a reaction, Alessandros.
Okay.
Before
Mage hand.
it's not really a reaction. I'll allow it. What are you going to do with it?
Slap, push, one of them.
You want to push Inari as she exits the tent?
Yeah.
Into the fire.
How hard? As hard as you're allowable for your hand, or?
Yeah, it's a reaction, so yeah.
Okay. Roll a strength check using your. Has the mage hand got a strength on it? I don't know if it has.
No, it doesn't. This hand can attack, activate items, or carry more than 10 pounds. But the fact that she's running out the tent.
Yeah. Just roll a d20 and add your strength modifier and your proficiency.
Uh-oh.
With the way
9.
Alessandros has been rolling, it's probably not going to be that good anyway.
9.
How much? 9.
Yeah.
You feel this pressure as you turn to leave the tent. You feel this pressure on the back, on the upper shoulders and sort of the top of your back there, and you do get pushed forward, but not a huge force, but enough to sort of topple you a little bit off balance, and you sort of start to you get that sort of off balance running forward towards the fire. And you're thinking, oh shit, and you're sort of scrambling to try and save yourself. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
27.
Crap.
Wow. Once you take 2 or 3 steps in that sort of falling forward off balance run, and then you sort of half jump and roll as you sort of dive roll to one side, avoiding the fire. As you roll, you turn and back onto your feet and hands, almost in that cat-like position, facing Alessandra's tent, as she sort of emerges with a very angry look on her face.
So So with that, I'm going to run up and hug her.
Oh.
Yes, this rather wet Alessandrus is now hugging you.
I look at her and I say, let's put some water on the fire and get it warm enough to give you a wash, shall we?
And with that, I cast Prestidigitation on myself and
And
clean
clean
myself
yourself
up.
Well done. Nice use of that.
And
So
leave Inari the way she is.
I put some water on the fire to warm up and give myself a cleaner. Thanks.
And with that, yes, if you wish to, you head back to sleep, Alessandrus. You'd probably have to clean up your tent with prestidigitation as well. It's a cantrip, so you're able to do that. The rest of the watch goes uneventfully, and morning comes, and the night gives way to the oranges and yellows of the next day. Another fine day. It's not like totally clear. There's a few of the fluffy white clouds sort of moving slowly through the sky this morning. But you are all now awake, ready for a new day.
Thanks for the early wake up, Inari.
Anytime. I
So-
hand her a cup of coffee.
Do you drink it?
Shit. No, I keep it on the ground.
Oh.
What do you do, Inari? Because I dare say it's in front of everybody. Do you react or do you not react?
I do nothing. I do absolutely nothing. I just pretend as if I didn't even give her a cup of coffee.
I'm just going by the events last night or early morning, and the last time she made coffee.
This is very true. And with that, who's trying the coffee that Inari made this morning? Anybody?
I will.
You will? Constitution saving throw, please.
Uh, 6, but I do have Ring of the Goat.
Oh, you got Ring of the Goat on, don't you?
I do.
So, well, you're lucky. With the Ring of the Goat, it actually tastes pretty good. But
This coffee's
it
amazing.
smells like shit, but it tastes really good.
This is brilliant. I love it. Yes.
I look at them all and I just go, right, and I'm like, would you rather I go and get breakfast, like hunt?
I still have some deer meat left from last time, enough for a few days at least, so don't know if you need to go hunting right away.
Okay.
No, you probably got enough rations between you all now with what you did with the hunt before that you got enough to last you a while.
Okay.
I have 4 to be exact.
There you go. So with that, breakfast is done. You break down your camp. Takes you about an hour or so to break down the tents and extinguish the fire. Being good adventurers, you don't want to burn down the forest. So you pack your horses and you head out for your second day of travel. Doesn't take long, probably a few hours, and you pass through the small village that you have passed through before. You can stop and water your horses here if you wish. It's got a watering trough and a hitching post for horses. There's general stores, like a farmer's market type thing. There's a few people milling around, but generally it's just like a quick pit stop for most people.
Use it pit stop and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So-
a note, DM.
Yes.
Hit would have attuned with the Frostbrand compass overnight.
Okay. Cool. Mark that. Mark it and add it to your inventory as being attuned.
Done and done.
So with that, you stop, briefly water the horses, and deal with that, and continue to move on. You then pass by the path leading to the Howling Mountains, which took you to the mine that you helped in your trials. For those of you, Het and Alessandra specifically, you would have remembered the trial in the mountain that when you first joined the Lions, the Black Line, going after the special ore that was located in the mines. You then continue northward for another few hours, leading you towards the township, or the small township or small city of Gatton. You know you're probably not going to get there today, but you know you're going to get most of the way. You'll probably need to camp in at least one more evening before arriving at Gatton. So once again, through the course of the day, you just on the road you see the usual. There's a few merchants, there's a few travelling merchants, there's occasional patrol from Gatton. You can notice the differences between the Valon City Guardsmen and the Gatton Guards. So you notice there's a patrol that looks like it's probably come from Gatton that patrols these northern roads. You start heading forward. You stop again for another night of camping. Not much happens through this night. Won't worry about watches or anything like that. You run through your respective watches. It's another eventless evening. Sleep is had. No more pranks this evening, unless anyone else.
Damn it.
Well, the thing is, we can come. There's plenty of time for that. Let's say you bide your time, Alessandros,
Okay.
for this moment, because we're almost at the end of the show. So I'll try and get you guys to Gatton before the end of the show. You wake the next morning, and as you wake and head back towards the road, heading towards Gatton, you do again another patrol heading southward. And the one thing you notice about these, I don't know if you probably noticed from the day before, but these patrolmen look like they've seen a bit of action recently. The armor is scuffed and battle worn, and they themselves look a lot more ragged than they would possibly usually look. Heck, you probably noticed more so than anyone, and actually Sadiq, you probably would have too. Sort of as they approach you, they definitely look like they've been in a battle recently. Do you say anything to them as they pass, or you just let them pass without incident?
I'm going to ask them where they've been and what happened.
Oh, greetings, travellers. We are guardsmen from the township of Gatton, and we've been dealing with all manner of things recently. It seems that the realms have just been turned upside down, and we've been dealing with gnolls and bandits more often than usual, but just recently we've had to deal with, I'm not even sure what they were, but they travelled on 2 and 4 legs and howled like banshees and just all manner of devils. They attacked the city 2 nights running. We managed to fend them off, but we sustained heavy losses. We've had to recruit more guardsmen in fear that they may attack again. This was probably a week or so ago. Are you heading to Gatton yourselves?
Yes, we were.
More through, but yeah.
And the other guardsman, he elbow, like they're on horses, but they're quite sort of close, and he elbows his mate and he sort of whispers something to him, and he sort of nods and sort of looks. He goes, are you the Lions of Valon by any chance? Percy says that he recognises the Dragonborn as the one they call Het. Is that correct? Are you Het and Sadiq and isn't there supposed to be a barbarian with travelling with your group?
Yeah, there was, but she's no longer with the group.
So are you coming to help us and fend off these beasts, or?
No, we've got business up in the mountain.
The mountains, you say? You're heading north to Reffield and to the Falcon Hills.
Yeah, that direction.
They say there's that a white dragon lives in those parts, though she hasn't been seen for quite some time. But there's rumours of giants and ogres and all sorts in the Falcon Hills. So be very careful in your travels. We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks. Best of luck to you too. Keep on moving.
And they carry on their way as well.
As we ride our horses, Het pulls up beside Sadiq and says, "Do you think we should be maybe trying to aid them as well? Or maybe we should send someone from the guild on a quest to aid them?"
We can aid them on the way back if you want.
Absolutely. I feel like these are the people of our land, and we should be protecting them from death. I mean, anyone who sides with us, as we saw in the
Am I hearing this?
in the vision,
You're probably
killed.
all hearing it. I mean, it's up to Sadiq whether he wants to, or Het and Sadiq whether it's open chat or between just them.
Het is
No,
not keeping it quiet.
Yeah, no, it'll be an open chat.
I'm not saying we change our course. I'm just saying maybe we run the guild. Maybe we get some people to help them out.
I like the idea.
You guys do know that there is a guild house in Gatton as well. There is a headmaster in Gatton.
Well, we can go there and talk to the headmaster. There might already be a job going, though. That's the thing.
As
And
long as
that-
we
that-
don't leave.
That
So-
they'll be able to get word down to Bolon and all that.
They would indeed. Or he would, definitely.
Well, we can do that. We'll drop in at the guild hall and stay the night there, and then move on in the morning. We can give them any aid while we're here.
Correct, and then once we've had words with the White Dragon, then on the way back we can check in, and if it's complete, sweet. If it's not, we may aid them. That would seem like the right thing to do, would it? I think.
Yeah, good idea.
Excellent. Het is happy.
And with that,
Yeah.
you're obviously still travelling while you're talking, and you carry on for the remainder of the day, and heading towards dusk on this next day. You approach the small township / city of Gatton. Familiar walls with city gates. You guys approach the city gate, and the guardsmen at the gate, I dare say you're all wearing the necklaces that Viola gave you the previous day, and one of the guards recognises the seal almost instantly as you approach, and doesn't even stop you. He gives his mate a nudge, and they open the gates for you and let you into the city without any question, without even. I mean, they nod in recognition and respect to you guys as they allow you into the city. You then obviously find your way to the guild hall in the city or township of Gatton. I've just got to bring up my notes here so I can remember. In the Highbell Farthing of Gatton is where the guild hall is located. And just trying to remember his name. I cannot remember his name. One second, I will find. I have it written down here. I swear it. Not Steve, Drax.
It's Drax.
Colin.
No. I just gotta find the right file. Here we go. Einwell Nelissa was his name. Now I remembered. So yeah, you get to the guild house, which you are all familiar with, because Sadiq, this was the guild house you stayed at while your crew was dealing with Redfield, and where you met these the other travellers, the other guild members, once dealing with that. You pitch your horses outside the guild hall. You enter the guild hall, and Imral is sitting there with a few other looks like well-seasoned guild members, and he looks up and greetings, good to see you back again. I'm not sure what brings you here, but I'm glad you're here. We could certainly use the aid. We've not had a good time of things recently.
No, we can assist you while we're here, but we actually are heading out tomorrow. So what seems to be plaguing you anyway?
Well, we've been under siege, it seems. The past couple of weeks we've had 3 rather interesting raiding parties, and I really couldn't call them raiding parties as such, but demons and devils have raided the city and have been taking the populace for God knows what. I mean, I'd hate to think what has become of the people who have gone missing. The city guard has done the best they can, but their ranks grow thin. I sent a message this morning, in fact, to Philond to hopefully render aid from them, and as you arrived, I only could assume that they had sent you, but obviously probably too soon if the message was only sent a few hours ago. But any assistance, I mean, I'm not sure. We may not be raided again tonight, but if we are, your assistance would be more than grateful.
Do you know where it's coming from? The raids are coming from?
Not entirely sure. All we know is that when the fog rolls in from the lake, when it's thick, that's when they attack, and normally in the wee small hours of the morning. Always at night. Never during the day.
Okay. So, no in particular direction that they come from, it's just...
Seems they come from all directions, but always with the fog and always at night. I'd say it's been three major attacks, and the incursions last for 2 or 3 hours, and they seem to not only to obviously kill the guardsmen and kill those defending the city, but they seem to take some of the townsfolk as well. We've probably accounted for maybe 18 or 20 missing persons at this point. Unsure if they're still alive or what. We're not sure why they're being taken.
Probably sacrifice. But, do you have any wizards that can scry where they are? Where your townsfolk are?
Well, I mean, I'm the only real magic user in the city, and I do not have that capability. We're not a large town, but I can only assume with the manner of we did manage to kill a few of these creatures, and upon examination, before they sort of disintegrated, for want of a better term, I can only assume that they're eating the people. I mean, fanged beasts with extremely sharp teeth and pointy ears, dark red skin, really foul smell too. Almost the scent of sulfur. It was terrible.
From that description, would I know what they're talking about exactly?
From that description, you would all instantly recognize the smell that he's describing, because every time when you first dealt with Asmodeus, the smell of sulfur hung heavy in the air. Which seems to be so that you would know with being with the Blood Hunter Order and your studies and the things that you've dealt with. that scent is normally coupled with the presence of demons or devils, and breaches of the veil between the hells and the material plane.
Right. Well, hey, I think you just got your wish.
Oh, what was my wish? I was looking at the clouds above and wishing for small unicorn-shaped lollipops.
Yeah, they already came. They were nice.
What's a lollipop?
A lollipop. No, we're gonna aid the town before we move on.
I have always said it since day one, Sadiq. You are a righteous being. I cannot question you at all. You have made such a great judgment call here.
Yeah, well, I think demons are doing some dirty business here, so I think we need to take care of it before we move on.
Had it been owlbears or kobolds or something, we could have let it slide, but I am with you on this one. Demons is definitely a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
We are going to kill them.
Alwyn sort of speaks up again and says, "Well, your aid would be most grateful, most appreciated. As I said, though, we're not entirely sure when the last attack was. Probably 3 or 4 nights ago. It's been very clear the last 2 or 3 nights with no fog, and so I'm not sure if they will attack this evening or not, but there are definitely something going on, and it must be tied in with the prophecies, surely. From what we know of the prophecies, this is the next stage was demons and such, I believe, from what we discussed the last time you were here. But it's if they do attack again this evening, I mean, the famed lions of Valond would be most welcome at our hearth.
That's okay. We'll get our people to start searching around, and I look at Inari and Ali in particular and say, maybe they can find out where your people have been taken, so we can actually take the fight to them instead of waiting on them to come to us.
Oh, that's a good idea. We don't have many trackers in Gatton. It seems that the ones that they targeted were the most able-bodied and most skilled of us. I'm getting old and frail, and as you can see, the remainder of the guild members here are very battle-worn and weary. And you sort of look around the room, and there's probably 2 or 3 older-looking. One's sort of a half-elf, one's a human, and the other's a wood elf. But they've all very heavily scarred and look very, very tired, very worn.
While I'm looking at Yale, I'm gonna go, do you have any clothing of someone that has been taken?
What?
Well, Fiala, if you were to become a wolf and got the scent of someone, would you be able to follow that scent?
Maybe. Probably.
You probably could. I mean, you do get advantage on perception checks to deal with smell as a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
So you could potentially track. Obviously, Inari is able to track as well. You guys would know that with her skills. She's would have informed you that her skills as a ranger and in forested areas, she is a very exceptional tracker.
Well, I'm just thinking that the more people that are out looking for the survivors or the people that went missing, the sooner we can find wherever the hell they are, the sooner we can kill the demons.
True. Well, I think that's a good idea. I think that's a brilliant idea. You there, George. He speaks to the human. Go find what's left of the guard and see if they can find some clothing or some affections of the someone that was taken in the last raid. And the guy nods and heads out pretty quickly. And that's where we'll end tonight's session, guys. Awesome night with the role play. Trashman, if you don't already have it, add DM's inspiration to your character sheet.
Thank you.
For Alessandros' little description with the Ildry and wanting to question her and all that sort of stuff. That was really well done, dude.
Well, owning up to the truth and all that.
Well, it's not so much that. It shows you put a bit of thought into your character and what you wanted your character to do and achieve. So it's showing a bit of depth into the character, which is really cool.
Cool.
Which is what D&D is about. With that, XP, chat. Because we had no real battles this evening. No worries, Jax. Have a good one, buddy.
Few drags.
Can I get someone in the chat to roll a whole bunch of people in the chat actually? Numbers between 1 and 20, guys.
20?
So we see the players come up with the 20s. That'll be a negative 2,000 XP. I'm talking to the viewers, guys, not the players.
Okay. We're technically viewing it too, so no.
So,
Rude. We got an 11. We got 11 from Pergas. We got a 20 from Blue Jay. Of course, Blue Jay's going to give a 20. She's biased.
Oh, sorry.
Let's say. Also, we'll round it off 2,000 XP for the game.
yeah. Oops, I put 20,000 in my thing. Whoopsie.
Not 20,000. Nutty.
Gotta love a try.
We do. I mean, that could backfire for you though. You get 20,000 XP and you'll die next round.
Yeah, no, I know. It's
But great session, guys. It was used to use the unlucky dice. Sorry, it's all good, dude. It's great. Thank you for the follow as well. Peturk. I hope I've shut me right. Pergas NZ. Or Pergas NZ. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you're wanting to catch up on the story and catch up, I mean, we are 40-something episodes in. Check out the YouTube. There is all the VODs from previous shows are on the YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube so you get notifications. Hit that bell so you get notifications when a new video goes up. We post the videos every week. So tonight's VOD will be available by Tuesday. So they normally get uploaded on Monday night and they're normally available to view on a Tuesday. Also too, remember guys, not this coming Wednesday, but next Wednesday, the 19th of August, will be session 0 of the Curse of Strahd campaign. We have 6 players for the next campaign. So we have our current players here that you see with us tonight. We have a new player joining us, someone who's not played D&D before. Is a long-time friend of mine, and most of you will know him as the Drax in the chat. But he will be joining us for the Curse of Strahd. So if you jump into the Discord, you will see the character portraits which have all been created in the general chat. If you want to check those out, comment on them, be my guest. You'll see those again on session 0 anyway. But look forward to that, and I hope you guys enjoyed as well. So with that, I don't think we're going to raid tonight. I'm just going to host someone a bit later, but we're going to say a farewell. And we will see you again next Sunday.
wink.
And next episode of Paradigm Bold, and we will see what happens with the Lions at Gatton. Bye-bye.